right here and
Every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother, We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
What goes in is a local something that makes it all taste better. It's the flavor of our culture. Come from here, come from there, and everywhere. It's the special flavor that's made us savor at the Royal Castle. Oh, come the Royal Castle. Royal Castle. Flavor to the bone. Royal Castle. Taste the very own. Royal Castle is the local something that makes it all taste better. Taste the unique flavor of our culture at Royal Castle.
Blessing, good afternoon to each and everyone. Welcome to U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper douglAR Radio. And today it's Wednesday. And of course, you know what's happening at 7:30. At 7:30 p.m. sharp, we will be crossing over to douglAR Politics, where we will have the man himself, the Honorable Senator Anil Roberts, who will disseminate a whole lot of information to you into your hearing this afternoon. So stand by. Of course, in studio it's Corky D, the original, the man himself, and we also have Renderson Jeffrey with us. And today, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we will get right down to business. We want to first welcome our listeners, our viewers on social media, and those who are locked on to U97.5. Once again, we say thank you to those who have supported and those who continue to allow this program to operate, whereby we can bring you facts as to what is happening within our beautiful Twin Island Republic. This time I want to shout out my friends, those of you who continue to toil on the field and to educate those on the outside. I just want to remind you, at this time we are on a membership drive in the constituency of Labray. So you need a form, you can call me at 316-4468. And the membership form will be coming in your direction. Of course, now is the time. Those of you who never voted, those of you who are disenchanted, we want to breathe a breath of fresh air into the constituency of Labray. The constituency that people believe that we cannot win. Well, we know for a fact that all things are possible with the Creator. And the Creator is the one that will decide what happens as we go along in two ways. One, it's either the Creator will allow your wishes to proceed, or will help you to change your mind to see that a breath of fresh air is before you. And if that's the case, then we would be able to change the dynamics within the constituency of Labray, and of course Labray would be able to experience representation at its best. So I urge you, give yourself a chance. Young people, youths, let me ask you a question here today, youths. Are you satisfied with what is taking place in the constituency of Labray? Question to you. Ponder, think. You could call and give your answer. And I can also extend that to the general public. If you are satisfied as a youth in this country, if you are satisfied with the direction in which the country is now heading, and if you are not satisfied, my question to you is what you intend to do to bring about that change, what you intend to do to allow your voices to be heard, what you intend to do to demand that you have a place in society. Well, that's something that you will have to think about. It's something that you will have to consider. And of course, it's a step in the right direction, because we just cannot allow our young people to perish. You know, the Guyanese have a twang that they use, and that is Corky, to say you allow the people to punish. And we cannot afford to allow our youths to be punished in this country by bad governance and by the type of nepotism that we continue to experience. So youths, this afternoon I want to talk to you a bit, and I want you to feel free to call, because we will create an opportunity where you could call here and voice your concern. You can voice your dissatisfaction. This is a station for you. We deal with facts. I know that at times we touch the hearts of individuals. I know, of course, at times there are those who are so in love with a political party, and coming out of that love affair, you know, when individuals like me who come to the forefront and make it plain, you know, as the young people say, we ain't making this boat, submarine or jet, we making it plain. And when we make it plain, sometimes it touch the hearts, it anger those. Some call it anger in the belly instead of fire. When we make things plain, when we show the deception of governance, when we show the wickedness of governance, when we show the racial discrimination of governance, you know, that's a topic that people cannot take, because they seem to want to hide their head in the sand. But I will tell you something, we will dig your head out of the sand. We will dig it out of the sand, and we will speak that you could understand. It matters not how deep it hurts, because I will tell you something. My parents always said to me that bush medicine doesn't taste good, but it brings a cure. And that is what we are giving you. We are giving you the real medicine. And while it may not sound good in your ear, it is the medicine to move this country forward. That is a reality. We will give you the medicine to move this country forward. And this medicine, ladies and gentlemen, it will be bitter in the mouths of some. It will be burning the bellies of some. It will hurt. It will create pain and agony within some, because we will give you the medicine raw. We will give you the medicine without any form of dilution. We will not dilute the medicine. We will give you it as it is, because this is the medicine that this country need in order for change to come. You see, for far too long we allow our emotions to have the better of us. For far too long, ladies and gentlemen, we allow our parties to get the better of us. But our topic, ladies and gentlemen, is not about party, it is about governance. And it is about good governance. And we will support good governance. And you better be prepared to support good governance, because while I take it down a little bit is because I want to soften your hearts and touch your minds. You see, what we have allowed for years, we have allowed nice speeches, we have allowed degrees, we have allowed jacket and tie, we have accepted that type of deception. And I am going to advocate for the younger people in this country to have an ambition for politics.
Yeah.
You have to find that ambition, young people in this country. You know, I often hear people call and say, last night a caller called and he said, look, we don't want the PNM and we don't want the UNC. So my question to him, I said, well, okay, all right, well, let's move. You don't want the UNC and you don't want the PNM. Who you have in mind?
Yeah.
He said, nobody. I believe he just wastes a call. I believe he wastes a call, because when you call me, don't tell me you don't want PNM and you don't want UNC and you don't have an alternative. You're wasting my time. Take this call. Take this call. Let's see if it's a youth. Welcome. You're inside. Good day.
Hi, good day.
Good evening, caller.
Good evening. Yeah. Boy, I find PNM, boy. PNM wasting time, boy. That was that kind of show with Paris yesterday. a good show, you know.
Yeah.
It was big friend. But you could see it. We could all see the kind of, I don't know, boy, like they in Hollywood. They acted with good actors. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But they are just failures. They're failures. The only big highlight that give them marks is when they open up the country. That's the only thing. But we really need to shut this country down, boy. We really need to shut this country down.
That's right, caller.
Everyone, shut the country down. Get rid of this government.
And caller,
Yeah?
we must get rid of any government who behave as this one.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That is where
All right.
we got to take it now.
Yes, Mr. Roberts. Okay, Mr. Roberts.
Thank
Take
you
care
for your
of
call. You see, you hear brilliance in this call. You hear,
That was a bit of
you
brilliance.
hear brilliance in this call. And, you know, just now I was watching Rowley mocking Wayne Mark, and it's a real circus. And, you know, he talking about this piece of paper, and he trying to mock Wayne Mark, you know, make a mockery of everything. But, Rowley, you don't need to mock Wayne Mark. You is already a mock. You understand? But coming back to the point, young people, you have to have the ambition for politics. You have to be a part of your own destiny, young people. Take the call. We will take them calls. Welcome, caller.
Yes, Silver Fox in the house. Corky, Jeffrey, good night. Robert,
Silver Fox. Silver Fox, hold on. Well, I say young people, Silver Fox calling, so he had to be a young boy. He had to be a young boy.
Man. If my foot could go all over my head and all kind of thing.
All right. Don't tell me no more, Silver Fox. Go ahead, make your point.
Yes, man. I don't know what it will take Trinidadians and Tobagonians to get up. I don't know what it will take Trinidad and Tobagonians to get up. Now, Rowley said the people of Trinidad and Tobago were stupid. Camilla just said blank man. The whole of Trinidad vexed because she said black man.
And what happened if she said black man? But what happened if she said black man? What happened?
But I don't know because she black too.
Wait, that's the
Right?
point.
Camilla black too. So I want to understand that. Just imagine 4 men dead underwater. Rowley don't have nothing up to care about that. Rowley Peacock get knocked down in Tobago. Rowley come up and fly up here to investigate that and bring in police. So Rowley don't care about the people of Trinidad and Tobago. All they care is to fill their pocket. And tonight, I tell you now, I don't care who vexed with me tonight.
Go ahead.
I just don't care. Right? I live at me and them, everybody, I don't care. What I am saying tonight, I want the MPs, Camilla MPs, not Camilla, the MPs, to start to put foot soldiers on the ground. We need to shut down Trinidad and Tobago. We need to shut it down. When we go shut it down, when everything disappears from us, MPs, we call on you, we vote for you. We put you there because we want help back from you. You just can't sit there and play, you don't care, and just, you see, virtual is only meet certain amount of people. Let us come out and shut down this country. It's time for Rowley to go, and it's time for we to stop this talk. Some of you, when we talk about that, just come out and say all kind of thing because all they are PNM. All you must be getting something from Rowley. I am getting nothing. Then hate. We cannot take this no more.
Fox, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
So what you are advocating, what you are saying, I like to talk where everybody could understand.
So,
what you are saying is that you are asking for the MPs on the government side and the UNC side to take the streets. What you're saying? I want to be clear.
I want the MPs who have the belly on the government side and all the MPs on the UNC side. Let me take the street. All of us in this together. Rowley is not what we think he is. Rowley is the mark of the beast, 666. He's Damien. We have to understand where we want to go. Where you want to be tomorrow. What future the children will be having if you leave a man like that? Where is the belly of the Trinidadians? All they're calling to find out what's going on in Tobago House Assembly. And they don't want to know what Rowley doing to them here. They're looking at the business in Tobago, but they're forgetting their own. Please, what more? The Lord will have to come down to move Rowley from there. I can't take 3 more years of Rowley. When I get up every morning and I hear Rowley in power, it does give me a headache for the whole day. I just can't take no more of that Tobagonia. No more. And I'm telling all you, I am not voting for any more people that come from Tobago to be any prime minister. I can't take that no more. I'll meet my match, I'll meet my time, and Trinidadians, oh God, don't look it up now.
Fox, if you come down, we need help, Fox, come down.
I got to call on Sam Dog Boy. We need help, we need help, we need help. Lord, we need help. What more can we do? We need help. If all you want me to come and talk, I go come down and talk, you know.
Foxy, you coming down to talk?
If all you want me to come and talk, I go come and talk, you know. Me afraid nobody, you know. You take more than one man to bring down the Fox, you know. We have to get rid of Rowley. That is our mission. Rowley is the problem of this country right now. Everything is old mass. I live in here and I don't have no more rights. I have no rights. You have no rights. No, man. No. This is slavery. This is slavery. A man without voice is a slave. Thank you.
Thank you, Fox. Thank you. Thank you for your comments. So, take this call one time. Welcome, caller.
Blessed day to you. Blessed night to you also.
Yeah, good day, sir.
Good day, sir.
You see, the young people have to come out on this. You see, you have to understand this. When they use the Calcutta ship was coming to Tobago, this is not real talk. This is real talk you have to understand. Every single citizen must understand what the people in high places do, the grassroots people. For me, when I line up with the grassroots people, we just be good. You see, when politics starts, everybody starts to divide themselves. Look at last night with them. He talk what he do for the 7 years, but he talk about Kamala right through the night. Each one of them come to talk about Mrs. Kamala, what she did and what she did. So ask them how much factories they shut down in this country. Ask them how is the hospitals, how is every government institution. But they talk about that. They just keep talking, battering one another, and we have to accept that? No, we don't have to accept that.
Right.
And if the young and the grassroots people don't come together and unite together, nothing will happen, because Mr. Rowley just understand before people die, the people behind he, who pushing he, telling him not to go here, not to go here, say this and say that. Yes, you use your people to advantage them. Because what he doing for any race of people, nothing. Everybody food card shut down. Every single thing in this country shutting down. You know, from blight to blighter to blighted. Our Prime Minister is the blightest man in the world. Have a blessed and wonderful night, sir.
Thank you, caller. So young people, we calling on you. We calling on you, youths. Let me get serious. This country belongs to all you. Do not allow those whosoever take it, I could talk, don't worry. Welcome, caller.
Hey, Mr. Robert, good afternoon to you and everybody else on the program.
Yes, sir, good day.
Right, I want to finish off what I was telling you yesterday afternoon, because I know you was pressed for time
Yeah, go ahead.
with the lawyer that called me. But before I do that, I only started listening to talk shows a couple of years ago.
All right.
And I get involved when PLM come back in power. And he was started to send home people to say he's saving money. And I tell them, no economist in their right mind will do something like that. What he was really doing is creating unemployment to save money. And the whole thing backfire. Because the amount of unemployment they have now, and they have no solution for that. Right? And they catch up with them. Now, remember I tell you, Manuel started to talk with the pension.
Good.
With the
Age.
NIB. I'm not put paid to that when she come and watch, she picks up everything. We ain't no talk about that. But they coming back at me again. Because these people ain't know what they're doing. The long and short of that is, Mr. Roberts, they're asking people to sacrifice their lifespan for them to get buy time for them. We ever hear that? The last time I hear something like that in World War II with the Americans and the Japanese.
But caller, let me ask you something. Why would people in this country accept all that is happening and just remaining quiet and observing it?
Mr. Roberts, you are asking me a $64 million question. Because that is unheard of. Look, I spoke with my vet today, who worked so hard and no time for she to get she money again. She go bar every time she go, right? That's right. That's what I'm going to be right. And she have to go there and hustle again, trying to continue she veterinary work. That is nonsense, Mr. Roberts. And people taking that. And like I tell you last night, the workers don't go by no trade. And the trade unions should not accommodate them. Because these trade unions, you can't trust them myself, all the people.
Well.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah. Let me ask you our next question, caller. Caller, you think it's a case where the bloodline from those of old, the bloodline watered down, so that the people nowadays doesn't have the type of blood that the older folks had, who used to stand up and take action against this kind of oppressive behavior by government?
Well, there's something wrong, Mr. Roberts. I could tell you, in 1963, I think it was, they had a strike with a company named Johnson & Johnson. You see, right? And it's mostly the French Creole, the white people then.
Right.
They strike for about 3 months, boy. And people couldn't believe that. They were signing up for the rights. And all you have to ask yourself all of a sudden, where the spirit of the people gone?
Well.
Who thief it? Who thief out the spirit? it's real. You asked me a question that is to set me thinking. I can't come up with an answer.
Kuala,
How do you people
sometime,
will get any workforce now if this thing happens?
Kuala, hear this. Sometime next week, I will look forward to your call. I'm going to bring back some of the issues when I was a little boy with Butler and other individuals who stood up and fight.
I have a good memory about that.
Yeah, we must talk about that, man. That might probably help the younger people to understand
I
the
mean,
history.
George Weeks and Basil Pandey and all them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should talk about that because the youth already know about that.
We go set up a segment, and I will look forward to for your call.
All right. I shouted this morning, but like your phone was full by your message phone. Your voicemail box was full.
I'll tell you about that.
Yeah, my partner. Yeah, all right. Well, you have my number, so I will play it up and
Right.
shout me.
Thanks for the call.
Yes, man. Love.
Right.
Yeah, we must bring that discussion back to the table. Take the call. We will take some call here this evening. Welcome, caller. Call on your phone. Low down, please.
Then fellas.
Yeah.
Yes, good evening.
Even name is Darwin.
Yeah, this song like a youth, man.
Yes. But, I realized something, right? Last night I listened to the Honorable Prime. When I saw Honorable Prime Minister, we try to respect the office. I mean, the man in the office, he just tap himself, but at the end of the day, I was saying something. I called in at 106 this morning. I'm telling them fellas, I'm telling them that. I hear that callers call and them talking about Faris and Faris get the motive talk. I'm telling them that. At the end of the day, we have water rate and electricity rate hanging over our head. Right? And we have things going up in negotiate like everybody feels something at any price.
Right.
And that's all I talk about. You know what now? That fella, he is drinking water, He drinking champagne and playing golf and minding his business, Last night, I want everybody looking for the man to talk about. What you talking about fire? Let me tell them that. They say, how fires get demoted when the minister pays the same? He has less headache. Because Attorney General has less headache,
Correct.
And all the builders are renting still. So how we get demoted? People are talking about this, And all they talking about, Rambaran, he go and he make a statement. He check out the pension, right? So he don't check already. And he pension fix. And he go and he go and relax with the family.
Right.
What we have to do is keep the issues right now, man. A quarter oil for a car, $135 this year. I NP the cheapest oil, the cheapest good oil.
Yeah.
So $50. And all they talking about, forget them fellas business, them fellas fixing their business.
Of course.
Never lie, the fella not shortages, The fella no work here, over the past couple of weeks. The fella only pulling for the siesta, the man only pulling cars out of the deck. And yeah, everybody talking about what he doing and what they talking about.
the issues.
No bread and not our table.
Yeah.
They're putting on our they're focusing on issues,
Yeah.
I hear people talking about their water for 2-3 months. I tell them, I call and send station. And let me tell you something. All in the village get together, divide water just come every 3 months. So divide them what days on get water, and everybody in the village and the street get water, pay that amount of money in the bill, divide the money by the day. I think about 3 or 4 hours. But all you have to do that because one man, all you come and talk about a meeting, and one man will say that after now, when time to pay all of them, pay all of them, say no, because once you do that now, what's the you happen about? The whole of the street decide to pay only water when they get water. And all done with that, I better you get attention.
Yeah.
Because I tell them for that, I remember a time, right, I water, the school toilet is shut, I just when PM come in power. Down my training going to school, down in South Edge, And for 1 month, no school. The FCL saying that the estimate gonna crossing. When a man tell me, he said, who is you? I said, I have parent. He said, well, if you're not the principal or the vice principal, me talking, I can't talk to you. I said, I said, right. You know what I do? I take up my child and the two test report. I take up my 2 ID card. Now I try to put I can go up in ministry education. I go to check out that answer. I reach downstairs and tell the security to come to see so answer. I don't call him on the radio. When he reach up there now, walk up his step. I say, I come to see so answer. He say, I'm the person. I say, ID for the way tell on the phone that you don't laser down. You can't talk to nobody else. But I say, I don't go to SMA school. And Mr. Roberts, when I reach there, you have a big file about 2 feet tall near the line. But I said, I've run envelope. And this, we estimate file on below. When he pull it out, he said, $90,000. He said, I said, not telling the principal and everybody at our, when the principal going to tell us, she had all the estimate on the estimate, and the estimate on the desk there on that big file. Right? And them people, parents of the whole protest, so what the whole protest, tell them what they want there. I say, look at that. And the next week now, Mr. Garcia, that time, he sent her a son and picked up his fever. That's that I was going to mention next time again, and next same thing, a line bus. I was a line bus, nearly 10 days principal calling. When I call the lady, I tell she, I said, ma'am, you happening? How long am I attend you to come and look at the water? I think on a Friday even. She said, well, I say, you have my Monday, again, it's a Monday lunchtime, and immediately down here. You making Joe by, I think he's saying Saturday morning, come to come and look at the water. And 9 days, the boy principal calling. Why have you doing that?
Well,
and next time again, I pump in her school. I tell you, man, she says she don't want to talk to the public. I say, you happen. Well, tell the police, go and call one of the police and tell them, but I tell my man officer, and say, you come on the officer and talk to him. You're making jokes, she give me the post cell number, call me 6:30 even, and say, what happening now? Everything going to be all right, Mr. Morales, see the pump for the next day. That we have to do in China, and once you do that, then for only laughing at you.
Yeah, waste of time. Waste of time.
Look, Monday morning, every Monday morning, Dr. Machanda be on 106.1.5. You know, I asked him the other morning, 2 times I asked him, I said, you are minister, transport minister, work and transport. I said, how are they collaborate with the MPs, right? When the budget read, they have 41 constituencies, right? So how much money is spent in each constituency? How do they tell the MP? Why are MP coming and sitting down in Parliament together with you? And then the MP going to some people and born entire. Why you relate to the MP? The MP can't listen and say, partner, I asked you to have a system in place. He never answer me. So I 2 weeks you answer me. I said, is that so I met you? I supposed to come and tell my constituency what's going on. They spend them 20,000 and go to that table land this year. How much will make us for that? We have to spend money which we can't fix everything one time, but there are 5 budget reading. So you see what they got 5 people money. But you see MP saying nothing to him, then come and hold him and protest with people. So what's going on? The minister works and saying nothing in the office by, and he has email and things, so what's going on? That money is you on then. I have to beg you to come and $6 how are you paying tax? Now them Trinidad the joke. You only talk and calling with the decision.
Thank you, Caller.
Thank you. Want to do for them.
Thank you for your contribution.
I'm Morales, I'm from Uganda. Yeah, man.
All right,
I was
bless
independent
up,
candidate, and then by election for the Congi Council after January.
All right,
but that's
listen.
but okay, you want to talk and that. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Bless. And that is a normal thing in this country. Take that call one time. We will take some calls here this evening. All right, we missed that one. We will take some calls here, Koki.
218-7762.
Take it. Welcome, caller.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening,
Good
Miss
evening,
Santa
Mr.
Cruz.
Victor.
How
Good
are
evening,
you?
Porky, Mr. Jeffries, and to everybody out here.
Yeah, good day.
You know, we have a lot of issues in the country, and if everybody pick one, we will cover all. You understand? And that way we will wide array. Now, everybody condemning Kamala. She too weak. She is strong enough. She this, that, and she other. Do you all want her to get on like Rowley, how he behaved today in Parliament? That is how they want Mrs. Prasad sister to behave. And then you have a next one on the next side calling her delusional and bipolar. Why? Because she stood up and defended what it is some of your supporters were doing. She delusional. I think you more delusional than her. When you, Mr. Vassan Barrett, complimented Rowley on his cabinet and his budget and whatever, you understand? Look at the situation we are in today because of all the greed for power. Today I felt so ashamed of Keith Rowley and those MPs in that parliament on the government side. After this man get on like a real wajang, they beaten up the desk and was getting on like hyenas in the African jungle. You hear? And that is a phrase that Keith Rowley coined for the school children behavior. I want to know now how where the children was getting it from, if not from him. You would never see Mrs. Prasad Bisesta behaving like that. And you know what is even more disgusting and distasteful? That speaker, she Rowley finished his crap and then getting up the ball, Mr. Prime Minister. You understand? No, you should have done it from the beginning when he started on the crap that he was saying, right? And you're coming out to cast aspersion on Rodney Charles. And when Rodney Charles now get up and pull a standing on him, she shouted at them, she dealt with it already. But let me tell you something, you know what, it's the tears of the divers on all of them that have them getting on so, right? And they will spin themselves out of control. Keith Rowley is a disgrace to the parliament and to this country. You are no prime minister. Don't come and fool nobody and tell them looking after the interests of our country. No. Were you looking after the interests of our country when you were negotiating for INS Gate and other things for the benefit you and your family. So don't come and fool nobody and tell them that you seeking the interest of this country. And you know what? The next thing, I just want to touch on this. You see how he come, and I want to tell him we don't believe a word you are saying about the money given to Gary Griffith. Come again. Thanks a lot and have a good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Santa Cruz, for your contribution. Ms. Santa Cruz, you see people like Vass and Barat and the whole lot of them, boy, they may say nothing right now. Welcome, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Roberts,
Yes, sir.
Oakley, and Jeffries.
Go ahead, Saina. Go ahead.
Right, listen to this, eh? It down to two now, the Commission of Inquiry into Paria. It was a whole investigative committee disappear. A new one appointed. They say 3. Now they get 2. The way they're going, it might be 1, and then they might bring in the KFC man. So it might be a KFC report, because it tells me they want to hide something and they want to defend somebody who is culpable, who is culpable in all of that. Look how it's going. You remember, he liked to basically do things to hide it and then say they didn't act this one. But if it comes out and they actually get it, you know where you're going to put that commissioner inquiry report? Where does the DPP sit? I think you have a room to start toilet, just like the Clico report. We have the Clico report, and it have people have to account. Coleman said there were criminal, some people have to face some criminal investigation to find out who are party to what happened with the Clico. It's the Clico and this thing down the road, the closure of Petrotrin, has us in this deep hellhole that Rowley taking us down, you know. I mean to say the vaccine grave ground. We can't allow him, and we have to get justice for those 4 divers.
But let me ask you a question.
Something is wrong.
Let me ask you a question. Are you aware that the speaker at the time was Attorney General and had to resign because of implications with that Clico issue? You are aware of that?
I am aware of plenty things. You know, it have a fella named Borat, who was a PP minister. You know, he's implicated in that too.
Tell me
I
about
don't want
this
to call
country.
names. All of them fellas.
Tell me about this country.
You understand? So it's on both sides. You realize he leaning to the left now. I don't know if he's drinking Balize now, because he's a sniper too. You know, we don't have sleeper cells. We have sniper. This fella, they call him the Vassant. He's a sniper too. You know. You see how we having his people to go and target the leader. A sniper is aim for the leader. You know. Don't feel them thing. You know. Them plotting just like how the Balize and them this plot. You know. They are wicked, and we have to get rid of them. I want the UNC disciplinary committee to come out of this slumber and start. You see that fellow who beat up them woman and badger them woman? We don't want him in the UNC, you know. We have to discipline him and run him. Let him go in the Balize juice. I'll go and have a nice evening.
Thank you. Right, so 2 minutes, Corky, or are we taking it now? Yeah, we take a break. All right, we're taking a break now. We'll be right back. We will just invite phone calls for the rest of the program.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
New 97.5, make it your choice. Something for everyone. 97.5 FM, music for you. It's all about you.
New 97.5 FM. FM Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Blackrock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Blackrock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
Eddie's Pharmacy Limited, we have a selection of all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs to complement your wellness. Every product we carry is vetted and approved by our pharmacists who will be happy to assist you. With branches at C3 Mall inside JTA Supermarket, 1135 SS Erin Road in Pinal, and 54 Rosha Douglas Road in Barrackpore. We offer services such as blood pressure testing, blood sugar testing, cholesterol testing, and also offer a wide variety of pregnancy test kits. We accept most major health insurances. For further information, contact Eddie's Pharmacy at any of our 3 branches. C3 Mall, contact number 228-4990, 54 Rosha Douglas Road in Barrackpore at 654-2655. Or SS Erin Road in Pinal, 647-0778, Eddie's Pharmacy Limited.
Sport is in trouble. What can be done to save sports in TNT? Join host Gordon Pear on Sports Insight every Monday and Wednesday on MCTV from 4:30 p.m. as he identifies the problems, look for solutions, and points the way forward. Sports Insight, where we talk to the coaches, athletes, administrators, and of course, you, the fans, as we bring positive change through sport.
Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Join me, Anthony Jules, on Late Nights with Jules, only on MCTV. New guests every week, activity, games, hot topics, a lot of discussions. You don't want to miss it. Tune in and join me only on MCTV, 9 p.m. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Calling every human.
Yo, 975 FM Multicultural Radio. Bar Hop is back again this Saturday, 26 March at First and Last Bar, number 4 Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, next to Price Plaza. Live entertainment by Nisham, Hitman Prabhu, Papa Steve, live Tessa from Shooting Stars. Yo, 975 FM in-house DJs. Check out First and Last Bar, Latin Night on Sundays with their popular DJs. Cutters on sale Fridays and Saturdays. So come on down this Saturday, 26 March, and join U975 FM Bar Hop at First and Last Bar, number 4 Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, next to Price Plaza. Showtime 7 p.m. Be there.
I swear we understand them selectors play every day.
douglAR Radio is now on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, Monday to Friday, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. with Anil Roberts, bringing you the facts on politics and up-to-date information. Also taking your calls on 218-7762. douglAR Radio on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Friday.
Get ready for the revolution. Come on, what you say now?
Sponsored by Royal Castle.
What goes in is a local something that makes it all taste better. It's the flavor of our culture. Come from here, come from there, and everywhere. It's the special flavor that's made to savor at the Royal Castle. Oh, come the Royal Castle. Royal Castle. Flavor to the bone. Royal Castle. Taste your very own. Royal Castle is the local something that makes it all taste better. Taste the unique flavor of our culture at Royal Castle.
Rule our country, and today they crush our economy.
Our skin. This is a time where we cannot watch the color of your skin, my people, nor look at the texture of your hair. That is what they use to keep us in this high level of deceptiveness. We must wake up and jump out of that illusion that the government have placed in our minds, that they are for us and they are our people and they will deliver us. They will deliver us into the hands of the evil. They will deliver us into the hands of wickedness. They will deliver us deep down into the hands of poverty. My black brothers and my sisters, as a black man that carries your race, as a black man who see no race but one race, I am calling you to see the human race in this Trinidad and Tobago. And if you open your inner eyes and you see the inner, with the inner mind, you will see one race, and that is the race that we must fight together to save both African, Indian, Chinese, and whoever are citizens of this country. We must stand together and fight for each other. It is no longer about you. It is no longer about me. It is about all of us, my people. Yes. It is about...
Welcome back, my people. Well, this Jeffrey is a scientist, and I want to say something here. No! Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey take me by surprise.
Nice edit.
But the facts is the facts, and what is real. And when I bring the facts here on this U97.5, I want you, the people, if you can't take the facts, then you could turn off or you could low down, because you can't low me down. You can't turn me off. So you could turn off or you could low down. But once you tune in again, it's the facts you're going to get. Because this is what this country needs. It needs the facts. It needs the history. It needs all of us to understand where we were, what we come from, and what direction we are going. And I want to say, the direction in which this government is taking us is not in the direction of survival. And this is what we will wake you up to. I know I call and talk about race and dividing and all that kind of thing. That is a matter of your opinion. I don't have no problem with people's opinion. Exactly. But don't have problem with the facts. Because when I come here to talk, I not giving you what is Victor Roberts' opinion, you know. I give you the facts with all clothes. They call it naked facts. Take the call. Welcome, caller.
Back inside Mr. Roberts and Jeffrey and Pokey Fadia. Well, we got back the 5 escapees, but you realize the amount of resources they used to capture those things. What that remind you all of? you know, everything this come back, you know, it's like a boomerang, you know. Remember when Shortman son lose his phone? And they shut down the whole police force to go and look for a phone?
Right.
This should have never happened. And you know why this happened? And we're going to see more of it in more places, and the murder rate will increase. You know why? We have a Pump City Rasta as the Minister of National Security, and nothing good will come out of him. He will cause, as we say, Couture is incompetent. He has reached his level of competency, and he should be in the dustbin. I go and have a nice evening.
Thank you, caller. I have a question, 10 past 7. I have a question, a real question. Silver Fox talk about he believes it's time for the members of parliament who have belly to take the streets. Right, Jeffrey? Members of parliament on both sides. Members of parliament on the PNM side who are the belly, and members of parliament on the UNC side who have the belly.
All right.
Fox, I admire your contribution here this evening. I admire your contribution here this evening, Silver Fox. However, I want to suggest to you, Fox, that it in a no belly, none whatsoever on that PNM bench. None whatsoever. Because you can't tell me, Fox, all that going on in this country, and you want to tell me is when a man was asked to put in his resignation, then he come to tell us about some $20 million in survey and some $19 million or vice versa and some land racket. You want to tell me that? Boy, Fox, no belly on the PNM bench. I'm coming back. Let me take this call. Welcome, caller.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good day, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, I saw on yesterday's newspaper on the front pages, in observance of the Down Syndrome's Day, I saw Mrs. Rowley featuring prominently in the newspaper picture on the pages, front pages. Mrs. Rowley, if you're listening, I think you might be better suited if you associate yourself with the Child Protection Unit.
Well
Good
said.
evening, gentlemen.
Well said, caller. Well said, caller. I want to say it again. Well said, caller. That contribution will go to the top of the class for tonight. I put in that contribution to the top of the class. Take this one. Welcome, caller.
Good night, fellas. Victor.
Yes, sir.
And who's that with your phone?
Jeffrey and Koki.
Jeffrey and Koki. Good night, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Victor, when I was getting ready to go to work this morning, this is Mr. Trincity calling here. When I was getting ready to go to work this morning, I listened to your last night's contribution, boy. And you brought up a topic there, boy. The new AG, Reginald Amon.
Yeah.
I was telling our partner of mine that she might be academically more qualified in law than Faris, yes. But too little, too late. So what the Prime Minister tried to do, bring in a staunch Catholic to try to sanitize the office. That can't work. That's not the structure.
Correct.
But I have to congratulate you on something that you brought to my attention and to the nation's attention. Cousin Anil was saying all the time, where are the pronouncements from the Law Association with regard to the breach of the Constitution?
Right.
Nothing out of the Law Association, because the Law Association is the body to guide the public in terms of constitutional breaches, and they were silent. And you ask the question, and I say, hey boy, I didn't think of that. Were you promised that position at some point in time? That's why he kept silent. That's why he kept silent. So right now, you pointed that out to me, you know, I say, wait, you have a point there, boy. You have a point there. And he failed because as the president of the Law Association, he said nothing.
Correct.
As the president of the Law Association, I don't know if he went to his members to make pronouncements on the Constitution. On the breaches of the Constitution, they remain silent. So, toothless bulldog. He just there to do somebody bidding, and apparently he was promised a big work. So, we go see how he is. But waste that time. No belly. Yeah, no belly. To take that work after all that went on. You all have a good night, man. I like you, and you point that out to me. I didn't see it, boy, but I've seen it now, right? So be safe.
All
Take
right,
care.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Aha. So, Mrs. Rowley, if you are listening, which I know the special branch and everybody listens to this program, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about because you had a visit from them.
Yeah, I had a visit multiple times.
Yeah, you have a visit from them. Right? So they listen to this program. They listen to this program, and that is good, you know. And I also know that they send the file down to the National Security Council to be analyzed.
All right.
You know, they want to hear what we're saying and how we're saying it, you know. And yeah, that is good stuff. That is good stuff. Good stuff. Because you see, coming out of that, we will be able to convince some of them to see the truth.
Yeah.
So that's good stuff. Do all the job, we appreciate that. Do all the job, we do ours, and things will happen. Good stuff. So the point I am making, before I forget, let me go back. Mrs. Rowley, I think I call her make I call her make I send the caller to the top of the class with that contribution. Corky, I call her make a contribution that he saw the Prime Minister, Madam, posing on front page with children with cerebral palsy and those kids and so on. And the caller is saying that he think that she may very well serve better on the child protection unit, and you know, to protect children from the caller didn't say this part, I saying this, to protect children from the predators, you know what I mean? Predators in office, you know, predators that hold the reins of power. Predators! Dangerous men! Boy, Anil Roberts, boy, you is real trouble, yes. I just can't pronounce some of them words now, boy. But I could say the last part, at school age. The first part I can word a little big, you know, but I could say the last part now, at school age, you know. You understand, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I understand.
So I think I put that caller to the top of the class this afternoon. But Fox, I'm coming back to you. Yes. I come back to you, Fox. There is no belly on the PNM bench, Silver Fox. Because if they had any kind of integrity on the PNM bench, we wouldn't have a minister, Clarence Rambarat, speaking out after his resignation had to hit the Mandes. And I remember there was a few of them, you know. I think the waterman before, boy, what was his name, boy? They was called Leon. Yeah. Leon had was to drop the resignation there too. But you see, the difference with Leon is that it is apparently, allegedly, that he really hold on to the fast of the oath of secrecy.
All right.
The oath of secrecy.
He hold on to it.
Yeah, so he gone, but he didn't talk. And then Nicole Olivier, who was the former minister of Energy and Energy Affairs, it seems as though that she too get the oath, hold on to the oath. A secrecy.
No, well,
no, listen, hold up.
Hold up. Go with them, hold
up, wait. No, come yet. Hear this? No, sometimes the mafiosa boss does give you the oath of secrecy in different ways, different dimensions. You know?
All right.
And what I'm trying to say, Corky, I will have to ask Anil to say it for me, is that sometimes the ladies who was ministers and who is ex-ministers, sometimes the oath of secrecy from the mafiosa boss does be in a different way. I go put it so. It does be in a different way, Corky. So sometimes you can't reveal the secret when you hiding in a secret.
All right. You're coming some depths there.
Yeah. You can't reveal a secret
when you hiding in the secret.
When you are hiding in the secret. And that is why plenty of them can't talk.
All right.
Plenty of the members of parliament on the PNM bench, they are all wrapped up and tied up inside of the secret.
Yeah.
They are inside of the secret. You see, the secret is like a bubble.
All right.
And the prime minister is the head of the bubble. He creates the bubble around those who he have trust in to bring in, to be part, and to execute the plans, at the same time keeping the secret within the bubble.
All right.
So when you are inside the prime minister bubble, the prime minister will defend the bubble, but the day you try to push your head anywhere outside the bubble, then he cut it off.
All right.
Because you see, there's a guillotine that is going right round the bubble 24/0. So you can't push out. Let me tell you something. Faris, I want you to tell me, if after the prime minister make his pronunciation on you, if you did call a press conference and you had to shut it down and you was cussing, according to my little son, he passed the other day and he heard some people cussing, not cursing, cussing.
Cussing.
He said, Daddy, there was cussing stink. Well, I hear Faris tell we now, you call a press conference and you had to, and watch, the media are just so wicked and naive and disgusting that all you won't even come out and say that all you was invited to a press conference. And while all you on midway and some all you done reach in the rented building, all you had to pack up and ship out because the mafiosa boss say no press conference. Faris, tell me if that's true. Faris, tell me if that is true, boy. Tell me if you was cussing according to Omar. Stink. Boy, let me tell you something in this place.
We just get them information from
boy. Watch. Yeah, let me tell you something. I use the bandage on the cut. You know. I use the bandage on the cut. Watch. Every time a bandage had to change. I had to change it.
You had to. All right.
But let me tell you something. I hear Marsha Walker and Corky a couple of weeks ago speaking about if there's good people in the PNM or bad people in the PNM. You remember that topic? And I was listening and I was just laughing. Because both of them have a point. But at the same time, while both of them have a point, I want to move away from them point now and talk my point. Let me say this. Corky, while there's an old ancient saying that the road to hell is paved with good intention. I will say it again. There's an old ancient saying which states that the road to hell is paved with good intention. What does that mean? The road to hell, all right, let me remove hell. I'm removing hell. The road to destruction is paved with good intention.
Good intentions.
Right.
Good things being said.
But you know what? But you're heading for destruction.
Yes, for sure.
That is this government, you know. You're heading for destruction. But the road is paved with so much of nice things.
Yes.
Nice, smooth, no pothole, white line properly well marked.
Yeah.
All the danger signs up.
Yeah.
Well, it has no speed limit. That
And
means
that road is broad.
And it's short.
And yeah, it's broad. Plenty people on the road. And the thin road is a good road, you know, but the broad road.
So let me define that
Yes.
statement now. Within the PNM, there are those who very well have good intention.
All right.
But unfortunately,
Yes.
the road that they are on,
Yes.
or in this case, the road that they are in,
Yes.
it is the road that will bring destruction.
That's right.
So those on the PNM bench, they will not come out. They cannot come out. Let me tell you something, Corky. If you love power,
Yeah.
you cannot speak as how some of us could talk.
Oh, like you. Can't talk like you.
Listen what I'm saying, you know. If you love power,
Yes.
you cannot speak
Yes.
as how some of us will talk.
I understand.
The next man will say, why you didn't say how some of us will speak? Some of us will talk.
Yeah.
You know why, Corky? When you talk like how we talk, you better be prepared to know that you will also be a political enemy to those who seek political power.
Yes. You're in the way now, boy.
I'm bringing it real, you know, Corky. It's real, I just bring it.
Move. Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Yeah.
So those in the PNM who wants to be leader, those in the PNM who waiting for Rowley to die, and I'm talking about physically die.
Yeah.
For those in the PNM who engineering the strategy and pushing Rowley, a man who have no direction in relation to politics, a man who says anything, do anything, and does not care where the chips fall. Those people who surround, who are in the inner circle, they are just as worse as the leader. You know why? Because they are the ones who will support the wrongdoing of their leader. They are the ones who will look for loophole to ensure that the leader have his way.
Yes.
They are the ones who will help bring legislation to the parliament to continue to punish and to send those who are poorer.
Yes.
They are those who will do everything possible to ensure that the wealth of the country remain within a certain category of people. And today, ladies and gentlemen, you as the electorate, you as the voter, we are calling you to stand in your own defense against the evil that now perpetrates itself against you in our society.
Yes. Yes.
Well, let's take it real, you know. Take it real, because that is how I just do it. I'm bringing it real.
Mr. Victor, thank you very much for your talk. I learn a lot every day from you.
Brother Koki, let me tell you something. And there are those in the PNM who vex with what is happening.
Yeah.
But because of the oath of secrecy and because of the power that they want to experience in terms of leadership, they will remain quiet and see the country, the economy, the youths destroyed without standing up and speaking out against the evil.
Yes.
There are those, ladies and gentlemen, who are there. And I like to say there. You know why? Every time I say there, I just remember what y'all doing there. You don't belong there. And Rowley kick her out of there.
You have a calling. I lost the calling, man.
Let me tell you something. There are those, Corky, who now get a little taste of fighting an election. And they won because of a bias and because of corruption. Because of corruption within the EBC.
Right.
But guess what? Because of this jacket and tie, this fancy suit,
wow,
this Prado, this salary, this comfort within the parliament, and the honor that ought to go with that name which they do not have, they will not stand up and submit a resignation in dissatisfaction with the level of corruption, misbehavior in public office by the hierarchies of this PNM. They rather sit there and hold on to this 5 years salary than to be a man and or to be a woman and walk away, stand up and say, look, I am not going to allow my good name, which we call integrity, to go down the drain because of a behavior of a mad seven. I call them the Fantastic Seven. You understand what I'm saying, Corky?
Yes, yes.
I get word that the
douglAR politics running a little late because
right.
they went to something to do with on Sports Max.
Check. Good evening and welcome to douglAR Politics. Yes, boy, your boy could still drive. Traffic up by Chaguanas. They had a little accident there, but no one in Trinidad and Tobago wants it an accident. Traffic all around. But it's all right. We're here. Thank you to Victor Roberts for holding on the douglAR radio. Victor Roberts and Archie, the two hardest working men in Trinidad and Tobago. Hey, how are looking bright so warm, boy, Archie? Well, me ain't my time to check and test, so Archie go fix it. I flew in Jareem the Dream Richards, boy. What a brilliant performance. Winning gold for the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago in honor of his fallen comrade, his fallen soldier, Dion Lendor,
what a race. The ball looks smooth as silk. Jareem the Dream for his brother, Dion Lendor there. Do we have a little video on evening? But we put up that. All right, you all saw the video. They had the copyright issues with the Olympics and the World Championship and so on. But what a race. And this is August well, coming forward with 3 years to go before the Olympics. Well done, Jareem Richards, and condolences to the family, friends, and the entire country on the untimely passing of Dion Lendor, a man who really put his heart and soul out for Trinidad and Tobago. So, First Citizens to increase exposure to Barita, the parent company. Now, I would love to ask First Citizens, what is this? Why are we putting all our eggs in one basket? Wade Mark was asking the question, who is Cornerstone? Who are these investors? You loan 25 million US, then you invest 20 million in shares. Now you're going to lend them again another 85 million US. So in all, over 130 million US First Citizens in one company. This company, what is this company? This Apple? What is this company? This Amazon? I don't know, but let me tell all you something. I hope all you know what you're doing. But no increase in NIB contributions unless it is absolutely necessary. Let me read that up for you again. But this one here, but you really feel people believe you still, boy? You don't know that we know that we know that you don't know that you know that you is a liar, boy, but we know not to trust you. Hey, but no increase in NIB contributions unless it is absolutely necessary. But they don't say, even the PNM lady, Helen Drayton, say it's absolutely necessary. In fact, there are recommendations to even cut down all your pension and blame politicians for caring about the elderly. Imagine these people, these PNM, heartless. Now, GoPro, Paria, and to DCP Jacobs, and to all of you who were not listening when Paria started to play the fool and left parents outside under a galvanized shed with no toilet and thing, no coffee, no pizza, no Chinese food, no nothing, no information to find out about their loved ones. And Kamla Prasad Bisesa said, what is going on? If it's a crime scene, somebody, police, somebody take control of the crime scene. OSH agency, take control. Why did Paria start back up work on the same area? Now we are seeing, because Anand Ram Logan come on the case, so Newman George, K-Pac start to clap so. And already from the eyewitness, they know that there was a GoPro. A GoPro is a camera. You put on your hat, on your helmet, on your scuba, you know, that you could do doing your work and so on. It became popular with skateboarding and those motion sports, you know, skydiving, bungee jumping and so on. GoPro. There was a GoPro down in there. Paria, where the GoPro? Paria, where the GoPro, Paria? You're leaking thing to Miss Hotspot, Miss Rhoda Barrett. You're leaking thing by she. Where the GoPro? You see how serious this thing is? Men die and only playing games, right? Paria, I can't believe all you. Imagine man. Imagine a Christopher Boudram have to be asking through lawyers, begging and beseeching Paria to pay for his medical expenses. Paria, you don't think that that's just appropriate? That gesture should have been done? Paria, did you pay for all the funerals? Did you, of the divers? Did you pay for Yusuf Henry funeral? Did you all pay a visit? Did you all do something, pay for counseling for his parents, his mommy, his girlfriend, whoever, if they have children? Did you all do that? What have you all done? Do you all even care, Paria? So now Christopher Boudram, who survived, and Kamla, as Kamla say, and I agree, he survived for a reason. A very intelligent man, and his memory is all intact. The request was made via a legal letter sent to Paria's chief executive officer yesterday through the Freedom Law Chambers owned by former Attorney General Anand Ramlogan. In the letter, Attorney Che Dindyal stated they represented the interests of Budram and Vanessa Kasi, the widow of Rishi Nagesa, one of the 4 divers who died. Dindyal also made 2 other requests to Paria, asking to pay medical expenses. Paria, all you no shame, you know. Anyway, all the people at Trinidad and Tobago, forget Paria and them. When election come, all you will vote them out with a tsunami of oil and water mixed together and put them in a political pipe and close the pipe on the PNM. That's what you all will do. So, all right. So we will pay. There's a GoFundMe page set up by one of the ladies, one of the friends of the divers. All you go on that GoFundMe page and help out the brother. Okay? Now, the more I listen to this, I drove around today in Diego Martin for a little bit, moving here to get dog food, Zing there to get newspapers, pick up doubles, come back. So, and I counted 7 gushing leaks. Even where my water truck, because I don't get no water from Wassa, I just get water truck, right? Even where they fill in, the thing kind turn off. When the truck not there, water gushing out. Wassa in a total complete mess. And the more I look at this video, it's more I realize and I understand. Not only that Keith Rowley is a complete heartless, incompetent idiot, but he looks for heartless, incompetent idiots to put as ministers. And then the ministers look for heartless, incompetent clowns like Mr. Sherland Shepherd, who you all saw from the Joint Select Committee, come to play games, come to lie, come to misinform, come to pretend like he taking question and not letting the people, the public servants, answer the question properly. And in the COVID-19 in the health sector too, Rowley the idiot put Convan Girl the idiot, and Convan Girl put Davlin Thomas the bigger idiot, and everybody dead. Watch this video again of the Minister of Public Utilities. Think carefully. I want you to also look at his face. He looks like he's giving you all like you all will agree with him that it was such an edifying experience to learn that if you have hole in pipe, that pressure go down. Look at him. That's why you have no water, run it.
And I never imagined that leaks could have prevented people from getting an efficient water supply, because it breaks down pressure and the water cannot go to communities on the upper levels.
And that is why, as Prime Minister, I was very happy after the election results came out. Then I got somebody who had no connection, no understanding, no nothing to do with Wassa, to be Minister of Wassa.
You saw like he was explaining Pythagoras' theorem there for you, or Bernoulli's concept that allows planes to fly. He was just like so excited to tell you all, you know, when you have hole in pipe, pressure does reduce, and people can't get water up on the hill. You know, you look at his eyes, he was so happy to share that groundbreaking knowledge. Hey, PNM, all you have no shame whatsoever, you know. Talking about no shame. President, meaning President Paula May Weeks, calls for an end of racial hate. Okay, President Paula May Weeks. President Paula May Weeks is encouraging the people of Trinidad and Tobago to do better in her message for International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination and World Down Syndrome Day. In a release, she asked citizens to make real concerted efforts to erase the stain of racial discrimination from Trinidad and Tobago once and for all. Then she went on to recall about 62 years in Sharpeville, South Africa, and so on. You don't have to go so far back, no so far across the globe, Madam President. So if we stamping out racism, let's start with you. You didn't just have your national awards. Your national awards of red, white, and black for Trinidad and Tobago. And on one night of your national awards, 27 people receive awards from an African president and an African prime minister. 22 of them was Afro-Trinbagonian and only 5 was Indo-Trinbagonian. And you find that is representative of the achievements and the accolades of a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-religious society, Madam Paula May Weeks. So don't reach South Africa. Don't reach by Mandela them who fight. Don't reach by Stephen Biko. Reach by your flipping self. Because you have no shame, lady. You really have no shame. And right there, the man you was standing up next to, the most divisive, pathological, lying man who implements the most racist policies in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, a man who with no science whatsoever banned open fire cremations where the Hindu population, East Indian population were unable to say goodbye, to send their dead into the spirit world where the body and the soul must be separated in the open air by open fire cremations. Not an iota of evidence, just discrimination and oppression. Where were you, Sleeping Beauty? Where were you in hibernation in a cave? You come to talk about stamping out racism and division in Trinidad and Tobago. Where were you when Rhoda Barrett and Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines spew race all across Trinidad and Tobago? Didn't you, Madam President, recently appoint a lady to the Police Service Commission who posted some of the most vile racist attacks against black man like me? I's a douglAR, I could take both. I's half Indian, half African. But she said of people like myself and Wade Mark and Jerlene John and David Naked and Victor Roberts and Obika and others and Michelle Benjamin, a lady said that we are black haters. We must hate ourselves because we support an East Indian party. Not that we support a prime minister and a leader of the UNC who loves all people, who gave laptops to all people, who produced results for all people, who increased grants and minimum wage for all people, who fixed roads for all people, who created jobs for all people. Not that. But you appointed that racist lady, right? And when we check she, you forgot? All she friend and them pink. Pink, like my shirt. And you talking about stamping out racism when you appoint racists? Something is wrong with you, Paula May Weeks. You have lost the plot. Living close to St. Anne's like you gone mad, lady. When Keith Christopher Rowley, the Prime Minister, put out the most divisive, ridiculous, history-changing, revisionist Indian Arrival Day message last Indian Arrival Day, trying to state and downplay the torture and pain of indentured laborers who were fooled, hoodwinked, and brought just above slave labor on the Fatal Razak, when Rowley said that they signed contracts and they did a business negotiation to come. You didn't correct the record, and you dare talk about racial divide and division. Madam President, you are dragging the flag. You are dragging the flag. You have turned the appointments of the president into a tea party. You only appointed people in the Bishop's Tea Party who you know. You don't understand nationalism. You don't understand national pride. You don't go to every corner of this country. We cannot even see you. You fix up a plantation house where black people were killed, beaten, whipped, and then tell us, come and sign up to take a tour of a former slave house. Lady, you are such a disgrace. It's not funny. I so shame for you. And to believe that I believe that you was a strong black woman at one time. You telling us after you get fixed up $110 million for a slave house, the grounds, the blood of slaves still soaking the soil around that house, you telling we to come and tour that stupidness? You have no shame. Shame on you. You have a national awards and you did not even invite the leader of the opposition. Why? Because she's an East Indian lady? Why you didn't invite she? It's not a national awards. She don't have 309,000 supporters. Huh? Really, ma'am? You talking about racism and stop the divide while you uphold a man who has divided this country like never before? When he attacks doubles and attacks rivers, rivers closed down. Why? Because the East Indian community normally goes to rivers and cook and light the fire and so on. You say nothing. Now you come out to talk about get rid of the division. When the government pays Rhoda Barrett, we don't even know how she applied for what job, where the job was created, if it went through PMCD, where was the advertisement, who was the HR team that interviewed them, how many people did she compete against, paid for by P&M taxpayers' dollars to spew racist ideas across the social media, and you come to talk about division and end the racism. Well, ma'am, you have sat there and under your tenure, the division has increased and hit a high intensity. Shame on you. She said, we in TNT are no stranger to the specter of racial intolerance, as racism often rears its ugly head during political discourse and even everyday discussions. Social media has become a haven for people to spew vitriol, hiding comfortably behind their keyboards with little to no consequences for their unfounded and often bigoted statements. But there's no consequence to you for having a national awards that does not represent Trinidad and Tobago. There's no consequence to Rowley for imparting and punishing the citizens of this country and making divisive racist policies to attack the Hindu religion. When there's geographical discrimination, you are silent, Madam President. You come in to talk about race. Move China, boy! A big disgrace, Archie. And talking about one disgrace to our next. When this next gentleman is elevated under your signature to the Minister of National Security, and every word out of his mouth is a disgusting, nasty, racist, pathological, ignorant human being. And that's your party who you support as a president. You talking about racism? Run the clung, the Pumsite.
Anand Ramlogan as Attorney General. When I saw Suraj Rambachan, when I saw Devant Maraj, and when I saw Anil Roberts, all of them is alligator from the same murky lagoon.
Yeah? And every Facebook post, he posts that the UNC, the wicked, nasty, racist UNC, but he is the Minister of National Security with powers to impact the implementation of policy that could take away people's freedom from the murky lagoon. When he said, I saw an idiot little Rasta, a little Rasta boy kissing the Prime Minister's palm, that made me sick. And if I had my way, I cut off every dreadlock off his head. Every one, Madam Vice President. That idiot boy, what a rude little dreadlock. That's taken from the Hansard. No, leave it up, let people read it. Actually, don't rush the racism. Let Paula May Weeks read what her Minister of National Security, the one who she aided and abetted in thwarting the merit list by breaching the Constitution, Section 123(4), when the other divisive one came by you to thwart a list, and you allowed them so to do, Madam President. Look at the hatred. Look at the vitriol. Look at the nastiness. So conversely, if a little East Indian boy comes to kiss your palm as the president, this man would be ashamed of you. This clown called Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines, who now sits as the Minister of National Security, and you come to tell the country about let's stop the racial divide, when you and your cohorts, your friends, your conspirators, your Tea Party people are the ones who are spewing it. Why? Because they are incompetent. They fear competition. They lack ability to compete on an even playing field. So they have to find the lowest common denominator to uplift themselves to a position of power. So know who you talking to, Paula May Weeks. You are a total disgrace. And you lecturing us, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we living nice. We helping each other. While these clowns perform and keep resources away from half the country because of this. Imagine you want to cut off a boy's hair, his dreadlock. For a Rasta, dreadlock is like Samson, it's power, it's strength, it's spirituality. This man want to cut it off. Why? Because the little black boy had respect for an East Indian lady. Is there anything more divisive, racist, and disgusting than that, Paula May Weeks? You could move it now. And he is the Minister of National Security. And men just bust out of prison easy. Archie, and if you see them, watch the boys. Ethelbert who? Let me stroll through the neighborhood. Run it. Yes, watch them. Watch the dog. Good dog. Nice German Shepherd too. Yeah? Why all they didn't go there and jump in that yard? They let that German Shepherd deal with all you. Watch them fellas, man, like they exercising. Them stroll, them now come out jail, you know. Everything is under so much control. Ethelbert Hines has everything under control. Man break out of jail and just strolling down the road normal, like they're going down by the rig to buy a beer and take a dance. Well, boy, Ethelbert, let me tell you something. Archie, I feel you have, I just want to remind the population of how much of a dunce Ethelbert is. Ethelbert ain't no normal dancing. It's years of duncehood. The man is a perfect dunce. Run it, Archie.
I'll tell you this. There are those, our political opponents, who are led by a serial loser.
Have some respect. You see, Laventille West, you're lost, sit down, deal with it. Deal with it. Deal with it.
He was one of them, but I told him, in the way of the Rasta man, you have, you know, the colors of the Ethiopian flag and the traffic light, the red, the amber, and the green. The green says, feel free, son. Go on. Go along. But for my part as Minister of National Security, I know what my mandate is. I know what is expected of me from the National Security Council as Minister of National Security. I know what my responsibilities are.
Ethelbert, I know you are a complete dunce, you know. But I didn't know you were stupid too. Run the video. Only listen carefully.
If it means fighting with them in the house, if it means calling the police when you discover the gun under the mattress or in the wardrobe, call the police. You don't have to give it away, but tell the police to find it in the road. I'm sorry I said that.
You have a Minister of National Security of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago advertising and instructing citizens in his constituency to break the law. To break the law. To withhold evidence from the police, to not report to the police, to throw guns outside and call the police and tell them look the gun, but don't tell them who own it is.
No, my duty is not to ensure that people feel safe and secure. But we are the PNM.
You are a failure.
One man in she hole, she like that.
gunman in she hole, she like that.
From the perspective of the Prime Minister, I understand full well what my parliamentary responsibility is, what my ministerial responsibilities are, and
Minister, may I ask you to please wrap up in the next 30 seconds in the interest of time?
And keep in mind that man came to answer 3 questions in the Senate, asked by Senator Wade Mark. And it's on the record, go and see it. And when the 3rd question was there, and the leader of government's business, Clarence Rambarat, who's now been fired and still sitting down there licking K-Packs like a good little boy, Ethelbert had no idea what the question was or what was the answer. Clarence Rambarat had to hand Ethelbert, the Minister of National Security, his laptop that contained the answer to a question asked to the Minister of National Security. And then you'll want to know why prisoners strolling around normal, murderers moving around and killing, robbing, shooting in broad daylight because of that dunce Pomsite Rasta. When the country is in a total mess. On douglAR Politics here, we went through about 3 episodes 3 months ago, 4 months ago, trying to tell Donna Cox, who dressed up like my boy Django when he went down to the Southland to look for the 3 fellas. Django in his blue suit, all you go and look at it. In fact, Alan Karim, by the time I done talk here, I want a post with Django in his blue suit when he went to look for the 3 brothers, the first 3, right? You know what I'm talking about when you see Django, when the partner, the dentist, tell him choose your clothes, and then put up Donna Cox in she suit. Put it side by side, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. And I told you that the PNM was heartless. Not only they had suffered the country with porous borders and put us through state of emergency, shattering the economy, and putting people through job losses like never before COVID and during COVID, that even in these times without grants reaching, without food, without assistance, that people were under stress, that the population, mental health was a critical area, that the population needed assistance from psychologists, psychiatrists, counselors. And what did the PNM do? They cut funding from Lifeline. What was Lifeline? Lifeline is a volunteer NGO who takes the time to answer phones 24/7 for people who are depressed and who are thinking about suicide. And now we read, as the PNM thwarted funding for the last 11 months of Lifeline, the parents of some children, a loving couple, write a letter of farewell to their sweet kids. We were in too deep. A Princestown couple who appear to have died by suicide over the weekend left a letter to their children, a 9-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son, apologizing for leaving them without parents. Shalene Ramkisoon, 38, and a common law husband, Steve Ricky Jagmohan, 40, died on Saturday. The daughter found their bodies in their Lapai Road home. We are so sorry for what we have done, but we are in too deep with little or no time. We really tried, but we never got through. Please help take care of the baby. Ricky said the green band maxi belongs to him and he's leaving it for his daughter and son. Everything that you are supposed to get here is leaving for his daughter and son. We love you both, but our time ran out. Sorry, babies. You all cut funding to Lifeline. You cut funding to food cards. You cut funding and call people greedy when they want hampers, 2 hampers. But you have a clown in the parliament talking about corruption as he sits down on 46 million in rent and 38 million in outfitting his own building, but has the audacity to speak about others being corrupt. You allow this is just the worst example, but so many thousands of people are suffering and contemplating that same fate. And yet the PNM sits there with a disgusting, heartless leader, and the cabinet takes the tone from the leader. Heartless and senseless. Cutting children, cutting things from differently able, cutting things from the people, but making sure them rent on time, their contractors on time, ministers getting shift because a contractor wasn't paid on time. And Rowley stands there with his arrogant, pathological, heartless self, and some of you vote for that madness. And then you want to know why our country is in so much trouble. I just went and picked up some food, and a lady just pop in there by mistake. She didn't know who it was she was talking to at first, because I don't mask. Me, I still wearing my mask and thing. Me, I know what the rule is and what the law is, because it has one law for the PNM and one law for everybody else. But what the lady said was that she never suffered like this before. Archie, show them. I feel I went out of time in there. Or you don't have that one? All right. You all right?
I used to come by 412.
Nice, man.
What
sprang along?
Yeah.
Nice.
And watch me as a dead UNC. They can't change me, but it's just a matter of time you're coming back in power.
Thank you, my dear. You be safe.
He was in power. I wasn't suffering so, Mr. Anil.
Oh, Lord.
I wasn't suffering so.
All right.
Great separation out here.
Hug up the grandchildren for me.
After God.
After God. Okay. You.
Blessed love.
God love.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye. That's just all over the country. All over, people suffering. And these clowns in the PNM coming with their arrogant stupidity time after time. Their lies, repeating the lies, because Coleman but boasted in the parliament that he read Mein Kampf. Who the hell would want to read what Hitler had to say and then implement it? But then again, this is what you all voted for. A prime minister that I keep asking him, Sir, Keith Christopher Rowley, are you being treated at St. Clair for dementia? This is not a joke. I'm asking you very seriously. And if you are, you need to come clean with the population, because your lack of memory, not knowing whether you appointed a man to deal with sandals or not, Wendell Motley, not remembering what you said when you said it about August 11th, going to President's house. How did you know the merit list was there? What were you doing there? Confessing, then withdrawing your confession. You're a confused man, and you're losing the plot, because this is the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, you know. This human being is your prime minister. And I ask Independent Senator Vera, first of all, before you come in the Senate, go by the laundry. You come in the Senate yesterday with your jacket rumpled up like your wife put your clothes in a garbage bag. That's how you come in the Senate, Independent Senator. You came in the Senate like looking like you in the marketplace. Oh my gosh. Yes, Independent Senator Vera, what do you think about this performance by your Prime Minister, the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley? Run it, Archie.
Barbados seems to be significant in the CARICOM region,
what is your
and
story
we
with
seem
Barbados?
to be behind.
What is your story with Barbados? Every time you get up in this parliament, it's Barbados, 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 Barbados. Don't come and talk to me about me and what. I am the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
Prime Minister, in terms of measurability, Mia Motley left Guyana with 10,000 jobs. Would it not have been better to go to Guyana than to go to Qatar?
What do you have in Guyana? Why don't you go to Guyana if you want to be in Guyana? As a member of parliament in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, you're always talking about Guyana and Barbados. If you're unhappy here, you're free to go. Nobody has tied you here.
Speaker is on her left. What do you think it is? I'm not chairing Balizé House General Council meeting.
Prime Minister.
That is the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, was it such a difficult question? If you as a Prime Minister make a decision 6 months in advance to reject an invitation to Guyana, the #1 blossoming, blooming energy sector country on planet Earth right now, where opportunities abound, and you're the Prime Minister of a country where the economy is in shatters and tatters, mainly because of your decisions, your lack of intelligence, and your lack of ability to manage. But you make a conscious decision to not go to Guyana. Give them no reason. 6 months. They were so respectful. They invited you 6 months in advance. You rejected and turned your back on Guyana. Then you went to Qatar to meet, to make a speech, to dribble and to not speak very well, to stutter and stumble, unable to read, like you went temporarily illiterate. And you met then with the president of Iran. So if that is your policy and you thought it out, and obviously your policy would redound to the benefit of the population that you lead, then the parliament is the place to explain. So if Rodney Charles asked you a question, then you should have scientifically, structured wise, based on information and results, answered Rodney Charles on why it was more beneficial to the people of Trinidad and Tobago for you to go to Qatar and blank Guyana, and also blank the CARICOM heads of summit meeting face-to-face first time in 2 years. This emotional outburst of a man that seems unhinged doesn't seem prime ministerial, does it? Secondly, you're jealous, Mia? Oh Lord, Mia went COP26, everybody clapped for Mia. When you come to talk, everybody went to eat scones and drink tea. You're jealous, Mia, Rowie? Row, poor baby, everybody only talking about Mia. Well, because Mia is intelligent, Mia is creative. Mia, when put under pressure, she's not afraid. She says, if the people disagree with my policy, I call an election, you decide. And the people decide that they love Mia. You went to Barbados, and all over the world, international people are meeting and greeting with Mia. CNN wants to interview Mia. Nobody wants to interview you. Poor little dum-dum. Poor little Oreo. You mean BBC, Al Jazeera? No one, Fox News, wasn't interested in your speech at the COP26? Nobody wanted to hear you. Nobody wants to meet you. We have no foreign direct investment. No one's inviting you. President Trump dissed you. He invited the rest of the Caribbean. The entire Caribbean knows that you're a laughing stock, so you can't handle it. You become unhinged, and you embarrass yourself and your party, the PNM, in the parliament, even your friend, very close friend, Bridget Anissa George. She was so ashamed, she didn't even know what to say. All the Balizé juice ran out as she blew hair. So poor fella, you're jealous, Mia? Mia too bright, Mia too loved, Mia too respected. Mia, say, well, goodbye, boy. Okay, go and cry, little baby boy. So you, the Prime Minister of nothing, the vindictive, malicious, wicked man, because you tried to interfere in Guyana's election with Narcis Scope and Andrew Gabriel. Lovell Francis boasted about the other team winning, and UNC over there, they done UNC lost. And you with your private, myopic, sickening self. That's why you wanted also to get rid of Double G, because he dissed you. You, look how you disrespected the entire parliament. That parliament there is representative of 1.4 million people, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and 200,000 illegal migrants. and you degenerated the parliament into a marketplace. I don't hear you, Independent Senator Vera. Did the UNC do that? No, the UNC said, please stop muting our mics. We want to debate conflict of interest, singing for your supper. We want to discuss the issues. We want a tribunal. We want to investigate what happened to the merit list. Why are we in constitutional crisis? And you said, Independent Senator Vera, that the UNC is decrepit and disrespectful and disrespecting the parliament, and you want to make a committee to censure. What about Archie play over that for Independent Senator Vera?
Seems to be significant in the CARICOM region.
What is your story,
and we seem to be behind.
What is your story, Barbados? Every time you get up in this parliament, it's Barbados, 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 Barbados. Don't come and talk to me about me and what. I am the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
Prime Minister, in terms of measurability, Mia Motley left Guyana with 10,000 jobs. Would it not have been better to go to Guyana than to go to Qatar?
What do you have in Guyana? Why don't you go to Guyana if you want to be in Guyana? As a member of parliament in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, you're always talking about Guyana and Barbados. If you're unhappy here, you're free to go. Nobody has tied you here.
Speaker is on her legs. What do you think it is?
Yeah, he's not chairing Balizé House General Council meeting.
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister, you know, unhinged, meltdown, unable to answer, lacking information. I am not no Prime Minister. Me, I want to be no Prime Minister. Every time I get up to speak, I get interrupted 20, 21 times, left, right, all kind of nonsense. You ever see me meltdown so? Nobody, he in full protection. He speaker. Nobody can tell he nothing. He can do what he want. And he still have a meltdown that he cannot even answer questions. And then you all wonder why our country is in the worst position in every indice across the board. You all wonder why? And then this one says, Keith Christopher Rowley makes a speech down in San Fernando West, where he going to pretend he and Faris still good. And they bounce each other so, and they nearly miss the bounce because one looking down so and the next one looking up so. We go show all of that just now. But Keith Rowley says, and Kamala is calling for me to be charged because some deranged imp tell you that he was given money to pursue you. Some deranged imp. That is how our Prime Minister refers to the former Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith. A deranged imp. But what did we just see there? Who appeared and illustrated behavior of a deranged imp? Let me hear Rowley talking where it was in San Fernando. Let me hear now. Run it, Archie.
I want to know if it belongs to Dominica. Because we want to know if it's for Roots of America. And Richie Amo cannot be with.
Deranged imp, you say? And you're a Prime Minister making fun of someone's voice chords? You think that's cool? You're such a little clown. You mental midget, Rowley. Privy Council has challenged the COVID-19 public health regulations. The public health regulation, now Rowley all of a sudden say, oh, well, we're going to open up. Why? Anan go on Privy Council on behalf of a citizen to challenge the inequity in the COVID-19 regulations, how they were applied without an overall merit base evenly across the population. And Rowley now say he opening up because his opening up shows that his his plan, his COVID-19 plan, pandemic plan, was a total, complete failure. Way back I told you, COVID-19 presents two risks. The risk to life and limb from the disease itself, and the economic risk. And I told you all way back then, in April 2020, that this could be more devastating. And through the PNM, through Keith Rowley and Convent Girl, we have both suffered death and destruction and economic decimation. And now they throw their hands up in the air as they have failed perfectly. If you could fail any better than them, I would clap you all. Perfect failures called Keith Rowley. And then we see, but no, you're good, but not this one. This is one, but she had on a blue one yesterday, man. Only getting close. But you have the correct, look my boy Django. Django! Archie, look for the picture from today and yesterday, somewhere she went. I mean that one close, all you working good. Look for the blue, it have a blue one and then put them up. But while they're talking that, Schoon among 92 in court for COVID breach. Businessman Adrian Schoon made his first appearance in court yesterday afternoon. He was among 92 people who appeared virtually before Port of Spain magistrate, right, for COVID-19 public health ordinance breaches. Really? But nobody in NCC in the Savannah before the court, nobody from Aquafet with Chowlinan, the PNM in Rahal Water Park before the court. And Archie, is there an image, a still image from the PNM meeting? This here. Now, in that room there are more than 10 people, and more than 25 people. What's the separation between these two here? Look, Clarence with the hand up, crossing his leg like Al-Rawi, right? They ask, who just get fire? And Clarence, probably me, but me, I just get fire. I happy, yes, I get fire. Now, where's the social separation in this room, please? It's a public meeting. Where the police, DCP Jacobs, DPP, all your fight. You see, you all think I should celebrate because Schoon is a PNM. No. In a democracy, the law must be applied across the board. So how come this is legal? Look at it. Where's the separation? Them sit down on top of each other like it's Rowley and Ole chips. Where the police? And they would have had police there. Or you're waiting for a report from GG to make an arrest here. But Schoon, you send 28 police up in there because of all your PNM internal wranglings between Rowley and Al-Rawi. The country doesn't care about your little power grab. The country is suffering. But look at Grenada. Grenada better off than we. Every Caribbean government doing better. Check Grenada. Grenada basically say to fly in and out, take the COVID-19 test. Both vaccinated and unvaccinated persons arriving in Grenada do not need to take any COVID-19 test. They do not need to fill out no health declaration, and they don't need no quarantine. All they just come through that Grenada ready to move with more to make money and to get the economy going, because all of these Caribbean countries have prime ministers with brain. What we have is a prime minister who's arrogant, dunce, dotish, unsettled, and suffering from dementia that he has to go in the parliament, and Rodney Charles make him crumble. And Rodney just kept his cool, you know. Rodney cool as a cucumber. Now, as we talk about one person suffering dementia to our next, Vasant. Vasant, Kamala is bipolar, really, Vasant? And you would like to be prime minister? You're attacking Kamala Prasad Bisesa when your supporters went to a UNC Women's Arm peaceful protest in support of the divers who lost their lives, and calling upon Paria to stop obfuscating, stop hiding, stop the insensitivity to pay for medical bills and so on. Your staunch supporter goes and abuses a female counselor and rips away a sign and roughs up women in a women's march. And rather than you deal with your little two supporters, you come to attack Kamala, Vasan, and you would like to be Prime Minister, what? Put up a next image there or video, Archie. What it is you have with this Vasan? You have anything? Yes.
Rowdy must go! 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 Rowdy must go!
And to become Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, and would it be under the UNC if that is the way that you choose to go?
I think that's a difficult question to answer, but the reality is that the job of Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago is an extremely difficult one if it's going to be done properly. Of course, you could get there and then play golf 3 times a week or take 3-day weekends, as Gary Griffith would say, and so on. But the reality is, if you're going to do the job and do it properly, it is not a glamorous job. It is a job that you've got to roll your sleeves up. But it's also a job not for one person. Yes, the Prime Minister is the leader, but you require a good and competent team in the priority areas that affect countries. So yes, I am interested in that position, but not for myself. I'm interested in that position because I believe I can assemble a team of competent people led by myself who can pull this country out of the hole that we find ourselves in.
Vasan, assemble a team? You can't even assemble a 2-man all-force team. What team? You have no support. You're like an old Bartex. Nobody take you on. And your 2 supporters that you're this day who pulling down woman's sign. You want to be Prime Minister? Where? How? Whom? You attacking Kamala Persad-Bissessar? You cannot walk in her shoes. The people love her because she helps people. Her policies help people. She even help you, your Maha ni Makaram. You? How are you going to get there? Who's going to support you? Who's your team? Bo? Your team of disgruntled, useless, selfish people? You want to be Prime Minister? Really? You want to roll up your sleeves? Why you don't take your bow tie off and chuck it in your mouth and stop talking so much stupidness? You did not even come out and condemn attacks on women. You want to be Prime Minister? You, Clarence Rambarat, attack you and say under the People Partnership, agriculture was corruption. You can't even defend yourself. You going to play PNM with Gypsy to try and beat Michelle Benjamin at UNC, and she beat you. And you want to come back to lead Michelle Benjamin and to lead the UNC? Boy, you are a confused fella. I feel you going for the same checkup with Rowley by St. Clair for dementia. Vasant, I don't even want to talk about you, so useless. But let me tell you something. Leave Kamala out your mouth, boy. Okay? Because I'm really getting a little annoyed now, and I go start to have to deal with you in a serious way. You understand?
Do you still have aspirations then to become Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago?
Yes, I am interested in that position.
I'm sorry, what?
Pastor, go and relax now. Go and roll up your sleeve and eat your roti with a knife and fork and give the douglAR a flipping chance, eh? And to the Guardian, actually you're going to love this one. Look at this, today's Guardian, right? Wednesday, March 23rd, page 11. Vasant, Devant, fire back at Kamala. Look at that, the Guardian. Wow. Vassant and Devon fire back at Kamala. But here the joke. Page 17. The Guardian now prints, Kamala tells Vassant stop washing mouth on UNC rank and file. So, the Guardian is so excited to print what Devant and Vassant say because the Guardian is PNM and whoever against Kamala, them go get placed in the Guardian. So you go see Vassant writing in the Guardian, you go see Botiwari in the Guardian, Ramona, what is she name? Actually, what's that girl name? Oh, good. I forget the girl. Ramona, what boy? Ramona. Whatever she name is, she get Kamala, let she be a MP for 10 years. Never do that. Nobody I know. Look, me, I don't even know she name. Ramona and them writing in the Guardian. So once you vex with Kamala, you have space in the Guardian. So the Guardian prints a big page 11 that these two clowns fire back at Kamala. But then they say, but wait now. We didn't print the story, so we don't know what they fire back at. And they go on page 17 with the leader of the opposition, 309,000 votes to now put Kamala tells Vassant, stop washing mouth on UNC. And the picture's smaller and the article's smaller because that's what Guardian does. Guardian, don't you all understand that the people are onto you, the Newsday and the Express, and they're getting their information from elsewhere because you all have lost the plot. You all are corrupt beyond. Faris' last act. What? On the day he was removed as Attorney General, Al-Rawi wrote to Chief Justice Archie requesting that his right-hand legal man be suspended for insubordination. Oh Lord! Oh, you catch, I was reading by Archie. Archie! Archie! Don't you just watch Django? You watch Django this weekend and you come out? Donna, go and get the people food card. Go and help the citizens, not Donna. Oh Lord, you come to look just like Django. Hey, Archie, stop laughing. Stop laughing, Archie. Oh Lord, now you make me had to go to a serious topic now, you know. In order, let me stop laughing. So Archie, while I stop laughing, let Kamala deal with the CPC thing because she's a senior counsel, chief parliamentary counsel, and Faris Aladans attacking the chief parliamentary counsel on the day that he get bust short and demoted. To what? To plant chocolate. Run it.
Way that they attempt to break and hold and to control. And look, the latest revelations with the CPC. Look what happened with the CPC. Look, that CPC has had decades of working in that office at CPC. He has served under many persons who was Attorney General in our country. When I became AG under the Pandey regime, albeit it was a very 10 days kind of AG work, but the protocols were there and we had to work and do it in a certain way. Mr. McIntyre was the CPC. When Mr. Ramesh became the AG, he was still the CPC. When Anand Ram Logan became, he was the CPC. When Faris became the AG, he was CPC. So how come things went so wrong under Faris? And why? So I have a new name for Mr. Faris tonight. Mr. Faris al-Bully. He was bullying the CPC. But the CPC, in honor of the job that he holds as a senior draftsman in the government, he stood his ground. And he was not afraid to let Faris know, look, you just can't. This is not business Al-Rawi, you know. This is not business per Al-Rawi, you know. This is business according to the law and the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago. Sean.
And boy, Faris, you're gone from the AG office. But Kamala, oh gosh. The boy gone. You didn't have to hit him so hard. His mommy had to come out and say, my boy Faris is a good boy. You know, he was just frustrated that the UNC Kamala and them was too bright. And they did not agree with his bad law and so on. But my boy Faris is a good boy. But Kamala, don't cuff the man when he down now. Run it, Archie.
Faris was the man who told this country, the most dunce attorney general you could ever meet, told this country there are no rights to privacy. So you could come to the parliament and don't care whether you have private rights or don't have private rights. No rights. And so from day one, he kept bringing legislation to the parliament. Either, one, excluding the requirement for the special majorities. Remember that? And alternatively, removing, where there was such a provision, removing it. So let me share with you some of those pieces of legislation. Several pieces of legislation. I have identified in this short time about 9 such pieces. Let's go. Anti-Gang Amendment Act number 4 of 21. No special majority. The Miscellaneous Provisions Act 8 of 2017, again, removed the special majority, passed it. The Income Tax Amendment Act number 18 of 2018. The Evidence Amendment Act number 1 of 2021. Gambling and Gaming and Betting Control Act number 3 of 2021. Again, no special majority. Trinidad and Tobago Revenue Authority 21. No special majority. Tobago House of Assembly Amendment Bill 21, and CPC McIntyre spoke about that. He spoke about it in one of his letters about how they were going about to increase the number of seats in Tobago and so on. He spoke about that. The recent one, the Whistleblower Amendment Bill, well, that was stillborn, debated and is dead in the Parliament. Reached committee stage, they have not resumed on that. And that one was a very dangerous one. In this one, the CPC, the same Ian McIntyre, had told the Joint Select Committee of Parliament that it required a special majority. It had no special majority in it. Required it. Well, poor fellow, I think they sent him on vacation leave and all these other bullying tactics that they use, but he was right. So when they brought it back recently, they did put a special majority, but it was only a 3/5 majority, and I blasted it, and we did in the Parliament. You wanted to take away the right of access to a court of law from any person in this country. That is a fundamental right, access to a court to have your rights and obligations determined. They removed that. That doesn't need 3/5, that needs like a 3/4 or even 100%. You cannot take that right, because the day you take away a right of a person to go to court to have their rights and obligations determined, then we are into a total chaotic state. We are no longer democracy, we're into full dictatorship.
And Hamid Ghani said, something big, removing the Attorney General. Something big must have happened inside the government to cause Prime Minister Rowley to go against his public statement on February 5th in Laventille that he was not moving Al-Rawi from his portfolio because the leader of the opposition, Kamna Prasad Bisesa, had called for him to be removed from office because the alleged details surrounding the transfer of a Porsche motor vehicle in 2016 to attorney Roger Kewal Singh. Between February 5th and March 16th instant, says Hamid Ghani, something happened to cause the Prime Minister to change his mind. You now find out Al-Rawi didn't even care about you. Is the CPC had to say, boy, I need a pink piece of paper, I need a cabinet minute, I need something to start drafting laws, I need cabinet approval, or in lieu of that, I need prime ministerial covering approval, I need prime ministerial approval. Al-Rawi say, fire burn you, I the boss, you do as I say. And Rowley, but you couldn't bust it through totally, Rowley, because you're unstable. You're unsure. You're frightened, Rowley. A man tell you basically he don't care about you. I don't need your authority. I can draft whatever bill, whatever law I want. If I want to draft law to keep commissioner of police or keep someone acting, I can do what I want. That's what the man tell you, Rowley. But Rowley, you badjan, you bully. You can't move him. You're afraid Faris, boy. So, imagine the Newsday now. The Newsday is trying to pretend and put it in your mind that Al-Rawi was not fired and demoted and run through the coals and embarrassed by Rowley by moving him as Attorney General, second in command to the cabinet, and moving him to local government. Check what the news they do. They put a headline, Al-Rawi blown away by Brasso Seco chocolate. And if you check the picture, them take a selfie from Al-Rawi that he probably posts on his Facebook page to make a story. The news, they could not even bother to send a cameraman to go and take a proper picture. But they so want to promote and save PNM. They're playing PR for Al-Rawi. And then Al-Rawi was blown away by the chocolate. He's just amazed at chocolate. And then he said, we growing chocolate in our fruitful soil. This man ain't know about cocoa. This man ain't know about Trinidad and Tobago cocoa. That for decades, for centuries it was growing. And for decades, we getting awards all across the globe for the most sought after cocoa. He in government wanting to lead party and all kind of thing. And he ain't know nothing about cocoa. But he had cocoa in the sun. And that's why he go get roast. All he die go melt out his hair. But on top of that, he went blanch his shares. But while he was there, Archie and I made sure that we sent someone to help him read the sign to make sure he know he reached blanch his shares. Because the way he does spell blanch his shares, he might have reached somewhere else. And Archie, remember? Run it.
Can you spell the word blanch his shares for me? Can I confess that spelling is not one of my strong points? At this point, afraid. You need to bring it up from your belly, man. Let me show you how you do it, huh? You just pull out your phone. Yeah, come down. And then you just type it to make sure it's spell check correct, and then you go down that way. Try a thing. Spell the word blanchisseurs for me. The blanchisseurs. Yeah. B-L-A-N-C-H. Blanche, E-S-S-I-E-U-R. Blanchisseurs. E-S. Somewhere close there. I'd have to write it to see it. Look how we catch the AG on watching.
I'm sorry, it don't take much to catch the AG. As Kamala say, the biggest dunce in the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. So while I like your show, my brother, it don't take much to catch he dunce. And then San Fernando Chamber, this was amazing. You ain't had nothing to say about the economy. The coming pressure, inflationary pressures of increasing gas price, fuel price, that's going to put the entire country under pressure. You ain't have no discussion on the unavailability of foreign exchange, foreign direct investment. You ain't worried about the crime situation that businesses across the south, man getting robbed left, right, and center, gun-wielding bandits feel like it's open season. You ain't have none of those things worrying you. What you come to tell the population, San Fernando Chamber, is, and printed in the, say it with me, Newsday, the Greater San Fernando Chamber of Commerce is pleased with the ministerial reassignments of San Fernando West MP Faris Al-Rawi and Government Senator Kazem Hussain arising out of a wider cabinet reshuffle. Chamber President Kairan Singh expressed these views on Friday. Kairan Singh, go and join Bali's house and stop wasting people flipping time now. We are on to y'all who pretend to be in positions, in independent positions, but you're only depending on licking K-Packs to get what? A little contract here, a contract there, to talk a set of nonsense. You are pleased that your San Fernando West MP get fired from being Attorney General to go and clean drain? That what you pleased about? Now, Archie, I wonder if you have this picture, boy. I hope you have this. This is the Guardian front page. Now, thank you, Archie. Listen to me. If ever you saw a fake bounce in your life, watch this picture. And the camera person who took this is brilliant. Look at the expression on Al-Rawi's face. Look where Rowley is looking. Rowley not looking at he, looking straight across in the crowd. This is the biggest manufactured nonsense in the history of politics. Al-Rawi looking there, and he looked like he want to cry. It grinding heat to touch that man's hand. That man just rake him through the coals, embarrass him in front of the whole world. The sweet boy Al-Rawi look, he biceps and all gone down. He jersey get looser, all kind of pressure. Look at that bungs, look at that good. And then tell me, the PNM not collapsing upon itself. Look at that picture good. They cannot even act well. They cannot even pretend that they like each other. But this is not my point, because I don't care about two of them. But they are in a position of power, and our country, you the citizens are not getting service. Your roads are in a mess. You're not getting jobs. You're not getting investment. You can't get foreign exchange. Your children not safe. And you have no schools, no laptops. We all suffering across the board. Sport and culture in a mess, and these fellas fighting up to see who go lead Balize. Well, boy, Faris, you just get demoted, but I must say, you're real good, Faris. You dress up today. You must have been squeezing. You must have been squeezing yourself, frightened to go in the parliament. But Faris, you went to the parliament, boy. I must say, I don't know what to tell you. I don't feel to cry for you, because you're so arrogant and stupid with your little dotish makeup wearing self. You felt you're so much above, and you get popped right down back to earth, and you had to go in the parliament not as the Honorable Attorney General. You had to go as the Minister of Local Government, and look where you're talking in the parliament. Archie, run it.
PNM in opposition 2010 to 2015 never complained about the delivery of drainage through box drains or about recreational parks and development. We complained about the corruption in the delivery of that, Madam Speaker. Because, Madam Speaker, every dollar that we save, every bit of expenditure that we manage, we get to bring better services, Madam Speaker. Because in allowing an executive council to go to work, in allowing a corporation to go to work, and in giving it the power, Madam Speaker, to collect revenue. Madam Speaker, I've said this before for people who are a little bit older, and now for young people. There was a famous guy in Trinidad called Max Senhouse, who used to say when he was selling things, we need the money.
Now many things there, and Archie, I want you to play the first 15-20 seconds in a little while again, just the first 15 or 20, because confession is good for the soul. Because Faris Al-Rawi, the PNM member of parliament for San Fernando West, former Attorney General and now bumped down to Minister of Local Government, said, and I quote, in 2010 to 2015, we, the PNM, never complained about delivery of services to box train and recreation grounds and so on. What we complained about was corruption. That's what he said. Faris Al-Rawi admitting that the UNC, the People Partnership, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, performed to a position where they could not complain. Run it again.
PNM in opposition 2010 to 2015 never complained about the delivery of drainage through box drains or about recreational parks and development. We complained about the corruption in the delivery of that.
Yes, you complain about corruption, but now my second point to you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. A man who sat as Attorney General of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, drawing his normal salary and perks, taking loans and tax-free off Porsche vehicles, who sat there and went outside of a meeting while a cabinet note came to give him and enrich himself to the tune of 38 million to outfit his own personal asset, and then for the government to rent his personal building, his asset, for $23.18 million for 3 years, renewed for another 3 years, $46.36 million on top of $38 million, so that he enriched himself. The whole hog. This gentleman is talking, number one, about corruption. with a straight face. Straight face. And what is he talking about corruption? Because he's talking about people who do forms of corruption, which mean they get kickback or they get a percentage of something. So he who take the whole hog and take the whole 100% of your taxpayer dollars to enrich himself to the tune of $84 million, he ain't take a percentage, he ain't take a kickback, he ain't take small piece, he take the whole fat chicken breast, spicy, crispy. He is talking about corruption. All you're really serious in this country and calling and attacking others who have not taken a cent of taxpayers' money other than their salary due to them in their position as being corrupt, but admitting that Kamla Persad-Bissessa's government performed beyond complaint. The PNM could not complain about the performance, says Faris Al-Rawi, alas, Johnny Sukaran. Now, Al-Rawi, I'll leave it. I was feeling sorry for you, so I'll just give you one more thing. Al-Rawi, you're excited to be in local government, Minister of Local Government. You're happy to be demoted. It's a great challenge for you. You can serve the people now. That's what you're about. But Faris, you didn't read your PNM manifesto. Look what's coming for you, Faris. You don't have it, but I have it. Faris, in your PNM manifesto that was produced 9 days before the election in 2020, August 10th, the PNM manifesto says, and I quote, "There is no need for the Ministry of Local Government." Once the reform is finished, once the PNM local government reform is passed and implemented, there is no need for the Ministry of Local Government. So Faris, you debating that bill, it will go to the Senate, it will pass, and then it will go by the President. Once that is proclaimed, Faris, you now have no portfolio. So you debating the bill to remove your little piece of portfolio that you have left after being demoted from Attorney General. You so stupid, Faris. So when there is no need for Ministry of Local Government, where you going? Where you going, Faris? They're going to make a Ministry of Square Pocket. They're going to make a ministry. You spent all that time last week dying in your bed, Faris, to come and shave it up. Archie, you didn't notice that? Archie, put back a 2 seconds of that video you was just showing from the parliament. Look, where the bed? Where the bed? That one coming in the Senate and interrupting me. When I said I die in here and the bed full and die out. He get demoted. Bed gone, yes? The bed and the chocolate. Like the bed does grow in the fruitful soil of Trinidad and Tobago too. Clarence Rambarat, state witness in 50 cases. But you see, they say Clarence is a corruption buster. But if Clarence is a corruption buster, how come he get busted out of the cabinet? If Mr. Alam and Mr. Balkisoon of the NGC board were the whistleblowers and the corruption busters, and they get fired from the NGC board. If Denise Deming is a corruption buster and she's fired by the PNM of the chairman of the board, if Helen Drayton is a corruption buster and she's removed from NIB, if all the corruption busters are removed, he who get fired, raise your hand. Show me, raise your hand. If you like the soca, raise your hand. What he named Clarence, every time he come in the Senate, he had to try to quote from a Calypsonian to pretend that he's a roots man. Now, DCP Jacobs, we have some serious work for you to do, you know. You are the acting commissioner of police. The Prime Minister, Keith Christopher Rowley, has admitted and confessed to misbehaving in public office. It's for you to investigate. You seem to be sleeping like Fitzgerald Hines. But DCP Jacobs, I'm confused. I read an article from today's Express, Wednesday, 23rd March. Land fraud is a major issue in Trinidad and Tobago, and the police will be seeking assistance from National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines. Don't you find you go to Fitzgerald Hines too often? The whole country is looking at you because you're the beneficiary of a constitutional crisis that was begun by the Prime Minister, who lost confidence in the man who had your work. And then he got a list, and he got some co-conspirators in public position to do his bidding to breach the Constitution. And you are the one who emerged through that selection process to be the acting commissioner of police. So therefore, you are tainted by a political veil, balisé grease, all in your nose, on your head, through your eyes and ears. And yet at every juncture, knowing that the spotlight of politics is on your bald head, you are unable to separate yourself as an independent acting commissioner of police. You tell us that you take advice and you meet with that sleepy-head one who had a man holding an umbrella for him. And now you say that you are going to get assistance from this fellow, Minister Fitzgerald Hines. Again, I am linking with the Minister of National Security in relation to things we need to do to ensure that we have sufficient manpower. You have no shame, DCP Jacobs. Your police service is in a total mess, rudderless. Crime is rampant. 3/4 of the country have no faith in you because of how you got the job. You seem to be a hand-picked puppet, and yet you are like happy to be a puppet, admitting that you get advice and talk. You don't take instructions, but advice on manpower and units and all of this, and you're continuing to talk to this one, the biggest failure in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, the biggest clown. Even this man's family don't respect he. As we're talking about no respect, Keith Christopher Rowley, you talk plenty, boy, down in San Fernando, but you ain't talk about August 11, 2021. You ain't talk about the merit list. You ain't talk about what you tell Bliss. You ain't talk about what you tell the president. You ain't talk about what Bliss told the other police service commissioners. DCP Jacobs, you don't want to know. You don't want to ask Kewal Singh what Bliss told them when she come back with the list. You don't want to ask McNish. You don't want to ask Dr. Craig James, what did Bliss Sipasad tell you when she brought back your work that you thought was complete? You don't want to ask them. And Bliss Sipasad, did you tell them, the 3 commissioners, the other 3 police service commissioners, that it was Keith Christopher Rowley, the Honorable Prime Minister, who instructed you to withdraw the list? Did you tell them that? Yes or no, Bliss Sipasad? And did you drink too much in the Oval, Queenspark Oval AGM earlier this year? And in speaking to members, did you tell 2 members in particular that it was Keith Christopher Rowley, the Honorable Prime Minister, who told you to withdraw the list? Yes or no, Bliss Sipasad? But Rowley, you're talking about $35 million. Gary Griffith say you authorized $35 million to hound down people in politics. You hounding down and you still can't get. You want to know why? Because you start a liar, you remain a liar, and when you lie, you can't get evidence of your lies. The lies only exist in your sick mind. Keith Christopher Nasty Rowley, run him, la man.
Gave him $35 million to pursue UNC education. That is the Commissioner of Police of recent vintage making that statement. As soon as he made that statement, a former Prime Minister is calling for me as Prime Minister to be charged for doing that. But let me tell you all something for a start. I have been Prime Minister of this country. This is going to be my 7th year. I personally have never spent $1 of taxpayers' money. Not even a dollar. Never wrote a check. I can't instruct nobody to write one. Every dollar spent by the government of Trinidad and Tobago, there's a procedure through a cabinet, through a ministry, through a permanent secretary, through a CEO, something like that. So when the police commissioner says that I gave him $35 million, there are two things wrong with that. One, I can't give him no money. And two, it is not $35 million he got, but the police got to pursue white-collar crime.
What a weak argument. Oh gosh, you're the prime minister, you don't sign the checks, so you don't determine through the cabinet the policy, the direction, and the where the money has to go. So then why you want the job? Come out because you have no authority to do nothing. What a ridiculous, pedantic, puerile argument. But secondly, Klong man. Anyway, let me let Gary mash you up. Put up Gary WhatsApp there, he message he sent out there. Let me read that out for all you. Put it up there, Archie. Yes, put it up big, man. Put it up big. Swell it. What is unacceptable, right, come down a bit. What is unacceptable is if the government specifically, now you all listen carefully, you know, because you just listen to the prime minister talking his normal waffle, drivel, irrelevant, pathological lies that he himself believes and those who need something from him. But anybody with a modicum of intelligence will know that it's abject, total nonsense he's talking. So Gary Griffith sent out a statement. What is unacceptable is if the government specifically selects the attorneys, decide the cost and negotiation of contract, and then impose it on the police by telling them who to hire, what would you pay them, and to have the audacity of selecting the specific cases that would be investigated, upon which the police commissioner is then nothing more than a rubber stamp, as the government is now prioritizing criminal cases and the police are forced to do so as required, as these are the funds released that can only be used for what is directed by the government. This is blatant government interference into handpicking and directing the police as to what cases must be deemed priority. If anything is the meaning of dictatorship, it is this, and the country must be concerned, as today it may involve government officials trying to influence and direct police to target political opponents. Come out of that. So Rowley, you see, you call the man something imps, right? Gary is a something imps, okay? But when a man say that, he was the former commissioner of police, he has made some serious allegations, and you will have to answer. And the day you have to go in a court of law to answer, you will be up the creek without a paddle, because he is stating that you allocated the government policy money and directed which cases it is, and your case is still failing. You come back to talk EMBD, you're running down. That is how you do justice. But when you Kamala Prasad Bisessa said that you should be arrested, she wasn't only talking about that, you know. Don't try to change people's eyes. She was talking about you should be arrested for your confession in misbehavior in public office, in interfering with the independent work of the Police Service Commission by interfering and influencing another public official, Bliss C. Prasad, to breach her duty and withdraw the list from the President's house, as well as you receiving benefit of not having, and as you have stated on the record, Gary Griffith as the Commissioner of Police, because you lost confidence in him and you influenced another public official, the President of the Republic, to breach section 123(4) of the Constitution. That is what Kamala says should be locked up for, criminal charges. But just because right now you're controlled, they tell me don't walk with Jacob because Jacob does walk and shake up. Just because you control he, don't mean you get away, you know, bald head. Right? And now listen to this man. I want you all to listen, because one thing about Rowley does know what wrong and how to do it wrong, so he does know how to correct the wrong when he go to get catch. Rowley always know the skull and how you just go to get it. They always say some of the best bandits doesn't know how the processes work. Listen to this, what Rowley is saying here. He's speaking about the EMBD, but I want you to think fake oil, fake oil, fake oil, fake oil. All that happened up to the arbitration and the senior counsel saying we must appeal, and his personal attorney, A.A. Kwamena, saying, nah, I'm going to get other legal advice, and then settling after a big lawsuit and telling you, well, it was a big lawsuit, but we settled for... Listen to Rowley. He talking about EMBD, but put in the brethren there. Put in fake oil and listen, just say fake oil, run it at you.
Because all of these things can be for the court, because it's money owed. And if you don't pay the way the contractor wants to pay, and if the workers in the company collude with the contractor, and you can't defend the company because the documents gone or the workers become witness to the contractor, you end up like PSCL, where the contractor wins the claim and garnish the company. But it's the man that EMBD handles it differently.
Very interesting. Now you must be wondering, you don't need to wonder no more, why this man like to dance so. Actually, let him dance, man. He love Rowley, he love Stuarty, like hog love mud, run him.
This one is that. This is for Deputy Rowley. And the useful and technical structure, we call it, and celebrated the PNM celebration now. So I just give my love it. Just give my love, yeah, boy. If you're not here, well, you might have been a wife. And Rowley, you doing it. I'm not going to know this. Keep going, Rowley. Yeah. I love what you like. Come, and the next come out to celebrate the sliding of the PNM candidates and of PNM people. What do you combine like this? Study by what? What's key? What does it? Or it's when they are of the mind? But now put him on it, man. Celebrate it. Ready to PNM. Ready to PNM.
That Rowley friend, that Rowley you call it friend when he was away, when it had discussion about fake oil, when the PNM board had put an audit and get 3 audits out today to say the numbers don't match. Rowley, did you give any millions to the police to get their expert to confirm the numbers in their investigation that Gary Griffith was talking about in the fake oil matter? But they needed a geologist, they needed an international expert. Did they get any money from there to investigate white-collar crime? Keith Rowley, you disgusting miscreant. You're talking big, but you ain't talk about what you went by the president to do. Rambali wants Integrity Commission to investigate Rowley and Weeks. Shogunas West MP turned on that Archie. Shogunas West MP Dinesh Rambali is calling on the Integrity Commission to formally investigate the conduct of the Prime Minister in relation to the revocation of the Police Service Commission merit list for the position of Commissioner of Police after it was submitted to President Paula May Weeks. Speaking during the weekly UNC press conference, Rambali said that under Section 37 of the Integrity in Public Life Act, Chapter 2201, the Commission may, on its own initiative, consider any matter with respect to the duty or obligation of a person under the Act, where in its opinion it is in the public interest so to do. The names on the merit list for the substantive appointment of Commissioner of Police were shown to have Gary Griffith, Jason Francis, Andre Norton, Erla Harewood Christopher, while names for acting Commissioner Will Griffith and current acting Commissioner of Police McDonald Jacob. It is certainly in the public's interest to consider whether any breaches of the Act have occurred. Now this is Guardian. Let me read for you first what Professor Ramesh Diosran said, right? Ramesh Diosran said that Keith Christopher Rowley meeting with former Police Service Commission Chairman Bliss C. Prasad to share information about Gary Griffith. Diosran said, it's hard to say whether he overstepped since nobody knows what was presented to C. Prasad by the Prime Minister. Influencing the decision of the Police Service Commission is far different from transmitting information that is relevant to the Police Service Commission purpose. Right? And then see, but here's this. So he said, because he want investigation. So if the information, what did Rowley present to Bliss C. Prasad and Paula May Weeks on August 11th? Now we know who've been following closely. Professor Diosran may be getting on in the age, he not following closely. Rowley presented nothing. There was nothing. There was some Pritchett report for a National Security Council, which that and nothing equals nothing, because they're not authorized so to do. He whispered in the ears, and then he got Fitzgerald Hines, as Rowley admitted, to try to go to the rest of the commissioners to convince them. And they stated on the record through Roger Kewal Singh, for example, that no evidence was presented in meetings of the 26th, 27th, and 30th of August that would sway their opinion. So then the Stanley John report came after all of that. So he presented nothing. So Ramesh Diosran is basically saying, from what he has said, that that is improper in influencing the Police Service Commissioner to change or to influence them in doing their job. But look at the headline. I don't know if you all could see it, but let me read it for you. Diosran, not unusual for the Prime Minister to meet the Police Service Commission members. Really? This is not unusual? Let's find out what he said. Right? As chairman, I did meet with the Prime Minister in 2011 when I was first appointed. He told Guardian Media that he and other members of the Police Service Commission discussed a number of issues with the then Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesa. The Commission cannot live in an isolated environment. That is all very well and good. Of course the Commission must meet with the Prime Minister to state what resources they need, what staffing, what sort of budget, what sort of problems they're having, what is the policy position. That's fine. But there's one problem. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a Prime Minister wanting for 14 months to ensure that a sitting Commissioner of Police was not returned to the job and taking actions to influence the job, the production of a merit list that was duly authorized and legally consummated by the majority of the Police Service Commission. And his actions there on a date, a specific day, to influence two other public officials to breach the Constitution and break the law. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about if a Prime Minister could talk to a Police Service Commissioner and talk about resources and policies and job and what budget here and what office and if the air condition good and if they need car and if they need more station. We are talking that. But the Guardian prints that big and bold face. But deep down inside, Senior Counsel Avery Sinanan says, he noted that unless a thorough investigation is done by the police service, there is no way of confirming Rowley's actions if they constituted misbehavior in public office. So he's calling for a full police investigation. DCP Jacobs. You see, I've been saying the same thing. DCP Jacobs, you need to interview Rowley. You need to, well, if you're afraid, interview Bliss C. Prasad and ask her a few questions. Why did she take back the list? Who instructed her to take back the list? When she went back to the other Police Service Commissioners, did she tell them why she withdrew the list? Ask her that, and then ask the other commissioners, what did Bliss C. Prasad tell you when she brought back the list? Simple. All you want to ask, you don't want to know. Now, the Guardian, see how they're pushing it? And once you're vexed with Kamla, they go put any article you write. If you're vexed with Kamla, check the Guardian. I'm sure you go see Boti Wari writing there. You go see Ramona, whatever she name is, Vasan Bharat. They will be writing in the Guardian. But I don't understand. These fellas, Bo and Vasan, want to lead the UNC. You, me, Archie, Lisha Dore, Karina Bechan, Kirk Mayhew, all the MPs downstairs, 19, Wade Mark, Jolene John, Naked, Laida, Jayanti Laxmidyal. They want to lead Munilal. They want to lead everybody, the whole Natex, all the councillors. They want to lead the UNC. But Vasant and Devant supporting, eating dinner and loving up Rhoda Barrett. Rhoda Barrett attacked Devan Maraj in the most vile, racist manner known to human beings for years. But Devan Maraj is friends now with Rhoda Barrett, conspiring to bring down Kamala. But Kamala never called you no racial epithets, Devant. Kamala never attacked you or said anything bad about you. All she did is she didn't put you as a senator, or she didn't give you a seat in an election. So you are saying that you're not being selected for a position brings about more hatred in you than a woman who cursed you and described you in the most vile manner, utilizing the worst, classless, racist adjectives. I'm really confused. How? I don't know, because I'm not seeing why the hatred so. I just don't understand. Now, it's really not a game, but the Bo and Vasant, you all think this is a game. The country is in a total mess. Not only in darkness and evil pervading the society, but just corruption and lies at the highest level. The parliament has become a joke where Rowley on his bully pulpit is protected to abuse. Look at his behavior today in simple questions asked by the cool, calm, full of dignity and decorum Rodney Charles. Everyone is suffering. Suicide rates up. COVID-19 deaths above 3,700. Economy shattered. No hope. Yet Bo, Vasant, Devon gone Canada. Canada have a good government, so you'd be happy. You're not attacking them. You're not attacking Rowley. You're attacking us, the UNC family. You're attacking this family, and then you want to come to be the patriarch of the family. I'm not understanding this strategy. I really am not. And as Kamala said, if you don't want to unite, go your way. You want to be prime minister, go and look, leadership election in the PNM. It's coming up, Vasan. I'm sure Rhoda Barrett will vote for you. Good night.